just like chilling there.
Why do you want to be in the cage? I don't understand that.
Like a little trapdoor into the ship, you know, underwater.
You can have
So
the
in
trapdoor
the
part
water.
without a cage, right? You could just
like Ocean Cruiser has like that weird underwater level, right? Where like basically like a water comes in and then it flushes out as well, and then
that sounds like a job for a crafter to figure out how that works. Not a job for the DM.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you tell us? It should be cheaper, but you can make a boat with holes in it. What do you mean? It should be way cheaper to make.
I guess.
Punch some holes into a ship. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Yeah, that should make a
we
water.
have done that a few times already.
My swim speed is reduced by the armor.
Yes,
right?
it would be, yes. But now you have a swim speed? Insane.
Yeah, I have a
You have a swim speed?
Wait, you have a swim speed?
Yeah.
Oh,
You get a swim speed.
Baby.
Someone click his feet or whatever.
Everyone gets a swim speed but me.
I don't want to guess, like, I'm pressing his button. But no, did I know this was the feed? I guess I knew this was the feed.
Yeah, and we need to go to the archetypes.
What's that? Yeah, you gotta go get some
So I
archetypes.
can
That's true.
become a proficient sailor again.
Yeah, well, speaking of it, I did add a couple of new things that you bounty, but which obviously you can't see yet, but you're not in Port Peril.
Oh.
There's a couple of new ones.
This
Well, I
guy.
mean, you go click on it, you just got, you know, I don't give a shit.
But that
you
was
go
the plan,
find it.
right? That was we.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, yeah, but let us start then.
Yeah, what did we do last time?
Good question. Welcome everybody to session 31, maybe, of Blood and Shackles. No, Jimmy was sadly shaking his head. Really? I thought that's right.
32.
How are notes? Oh, how is it always wrong?
Mine says 31. Whatever. 32 of Blood. No, wait, yes, it is 31. You're gaslighting me by saying, yeah, 31 of Blood and Shackles. Gaslight.
Mine says
Cheeky
32.
Yeah, I know, and you both were wrong, so it's 31. I remember you both think that half session should count as own one, but it wasn't. It was a half session. So welcome everyone to session 31.
Oh, okay, then it's session, what, 31 and a half?
No. But
Oh,
previously
I
we had
have,
20.
I have
You have?
session
You can't
17.5.
point half. What an odd
Yeah.
thing.
All of this could be avoided if you just didn't say the number, then I wouldn't complain.
Welcome everybody to session 31 of Blood and Shackles. Last time, the party. God damn it, good start.
The crew.
Party.
Call us the crew. Not
Party were the old watchtower, as I decided colloquially to call it, in the Southern Lands, waiting for the arrival of a lizard folk leader by the name of Shrisk, who they were hoping to be able to talk some sense into and convince them that it is in everyone's best interest to just calm on down a little bit. When she arrived, she spoke mainly with Altair, who explained the situation about what had happened in the ruined city, what was going on with Galethorn and the strange creatures we felt in this place, or have not befell, had started to appear in these lands. And luckily enough, she seemed, especially compared to Galethorn, to be very open to the idea of what you were suggesting. She also had her own associates who at least had heard similar old stories of such creatures, so she believed at least some part of your tales was true, as well as in her own way she also was not looking for much more of a fight with the people to the south after what had previously happened and after their successful attack on the rumor and takeover. So in the end, you left in a very amicable relationship with her, without basically saying he would do his best to try to make sure humans and lizard folk would stop attacking each other, especially in the rumor perhaps if there can be peace. It's a possibility, of course, a task which is very difficult, but maybe can be done. Miracles do happen. And yes, after that long discussion, you decided it was time to return home once more, back to Old Salt Reef, taking the boat south along the coastline. A couple of difficult days sailing. Later, you also encountered a strange squid-like jet skiing monster that you fought in the waters. Yes, exactly that thing. They kept on wanting to fill people with water, but people were too tough for that, sadly. And you had a fun fight and lots of diving into the water to protect your boat and to fight it off. And yes, you returned back and had a bit of a celebration with everybody. There still is a lot of people don't really understand exactly what's going on. This whole thing about the lizard folk friend versus enemy is still very hard for the common people, but at least perhaps there is hope in the future for Sword Reef at least. And then you had a discussion with Shelby, who came to the bar where Altair and Nate were having a nice celebratory drink, and you discussed a little bit about what she thought would happen next for Naruma. What was the likely actions for the leader there? Is it likely that an attack would be returned by the people of Naruma back against the lizard folk? Of course, Shelby is not a all-knowing source, but at least she's saying such a thing to go along the drive probably isn't in the near future, considering the amount of difficulty and often trying to help make the pirate council help with any activities, considering their intrinsically kind of selfish and kind of self-serving nature as pirates, and the location of Naruma itself far away from the waters and the ships that they keep most of their strength. Creating such a force to take back a city is not something which could be done quickly, unless of course Naruma's location or benefits with more than Shelby at least thinks. And of course she had heard, however, that the leader of Naruma had set out to go to Port Peril to try to convene some sort of, or to request some sort of aid, but who knows how long that will take. And one thing I kind of wanted to briefly say, because I think partly in my head I kind of forgot this as well when I was looking at the map about Naruma and everything like this. If you go to the wall map, you can see it more clearly, right? But the area between Port Peril and Naruma is known as the Terra Uplands, and it is really quite what's it called? Mountainous. There are parts, where there's a lot of mountains between 2,000 to 5,000 feet in elevation, a big range like this, and there's even some that are pushing more, up to close to. Yes,
can we mark the room on the map?
Yes, sure. I will say wait. Yeah. Oh, so is that something to do with this new tech field on the screen?
Yeah, I tried to guess it.
Oh,
There?
Yeah, it is at that side that the walked away, and obviously this these exact lines are not perfect. These rivers and stuff similar to when you went up through the Marangi. It isn't all the mapping isn't up to date exactly, but that seems roughly it's at that lake, which is known as Lake Terwa, and it is at the mouth of it. But yeah, just kind of never did. I think we were talking about how long it would take to get to Naruma back there. This river which comes on, which forms the Terwa River. It is formed in these uplands. So it's not you could actually sail, or at least not very far down this river, to Port Peril. You quite quickly hit mountainous terrain where you wouldn't actually better take a boat along. Yes. So yeah, I just want to say some of them obviously it's not every side, but some of them are up to maybe 10,000 feet, for instance. Some of the mountains in these uplands, so they are real heights. Yeah, they're
Himalaya.
I don't know how to go to Himalaya, something like that, right? It is they're really high, for the highest ones at least.
Wait, how much
yes,
is heat on the meter?
3. So average is about 30,000 feet, I think. Everest is fucking insane. So Everest is still 3 times the height it wants here, but it's still fucking.
I said it's 10,000 feet.
Yeah, it is. Everest is 30,000, isn't it?
Yeah. So not quite as big as I was
Yeah,
thinking.
30.
So not that high, but it's it's fucking high. It's not just a small hill. It's real mountains. Just so we can the geography in my head. I also kind of forgot a little bit about how the Naruma Port Peril thing. Yeah, so the water, the river kind of starts somewhere in the uplands, so kind of flows down to form the Terra River, which then leads to Naruma, just so you kind of get a bit more of a sense of geography. So that's partly why the travel from Naruma to Port Peril is so difficult, but you have to kind of, find some way to ford over this kind of uplands range, which is very...
and you spelled Naruma wrong. I googled it, just to make sure.
You googled it. Yeah, Naruma has
That
an
is
E,
correct.
but not an A.
Oh,
Yeah.
Naruma, yeah, you're right. It's just funny. Every time I search for it in Google, it's do you mean Naruma? Narooma? I'm like, why would I mean that?
Is that a thing? Oh, there we go.
There's a town in Australia.
No idea what that
the
is.
hell? It's a town in
It's
Australia.
Where is it an E instead of an A? The first one?
The first one.
It's
Naruma.
Tanzania. What's the
Gotcha.
pronunciation?
Naruma? I don't know, maybe
Naruma.
this is how I pronounce it. Maybe, the native, I'm sure.
Isn't there a system called Naruma?
The system?
Like a tabletop
RPG
game?
system? I don't know that.
Maybe Numbra? No? I don't know.
Oh, Penumbra.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, yeah. Anyway, that's right.
Yeah. Just so you get that coffee. But yes, you had a discussion with Shelby, and I think we ended at that night. I don't believe the rest of the party of Crixel and Johnny had reconvened with the party yet to discuss anything that happened. You were kind of, taking the evening off, so to say. But we would then, skip to the morning of the 29th. Not 29th, 19th. When, you have all kind of had a nice long sleep back in your old beds in old Salt Reef. I guess we will start in the morning where maybe you will, we don't know, we'll have to reconvene. But,
Yeah, when Cooper serves breakfast, I'm sure.
I mean, Cooper, is actually kind of, there's some, some one of the nice people in the village, kind of offer, like, the innkeeper has, like, a fair in the back they keep, and, offer Cooper to stay there. And Cooper, like, was actually helping out in the inn, like, serving some of the fishermen before they headed out. He's, earning, he wants to, like, earn his, accommodation while he's here.
As long as he doesn't prefer being in Outside Reef over the ship.
Yeah, he seems kind of good. He's like working the flat top behind the bar, making up some pancakes and eggs. The nice kind of small town diner life. But yeah, and if like Crixel, like come into the inn in the morning, like when you're trying to find out, he's like greet you. It's like, oh, hey, Crixel, pancakes.
Can I like look at the bar? Do they usually serve pancakes? No. Right?
No, it's not a common food here. But, the barkeep sort of, like, shrugs when you look at him. It's like, apparently it was just, like, flour, eggs, and milk, and all that shit.
Don't tell others. The entire town will come. But yes.
So, yeah, normally I just make, like, bread with this, and then, a glass of milk, some eggs on the side. Apparently you can mix this all together, and it also makes something.
Don't serve eggs to Tengu.
Bigger world. Oh, so scratchy pancakes? Because, like...
There's eggs in pancakes?
Yeah, people look sort of like a little shifty, like I didn't realise there was a problem with those. What about the waffles yesterday?
Don't tell. Then okay.
Okay, not your eggs. Don't worry.
That's your family.
Yeah, the Crixel, that's how they trade. That's how they say in all sort of, they supply the eggs and then they get the accommodation sorted. The symbiotic relationship.
Tengu farm, yeah.
Tengu farm. Okay, yeah. So you have some nice breakfast and do you have a lot of you meander it at some point?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
so you see
slowly,
Yeah, over the course of the breakfast, no one's like, in a rush. We'll say, narratively different people arrive. Maybe you're on, like, I don't know if you have coffee or, so you like, just relaxing. People kind of come in drips and drabs, to
waiting for old man Nate to wake up.
Yeah. Waiting for old man Nate exactly to wake up. Don't old people wake up really early? Is that not the thing?
Yeah, very bad.
Nate's went fishing.
But he got younger again.
Oh, you woke up at like 4 and went fishing for a few hours? Ah, I see.
Oh, 4 is a bit late, like from maybe 2 till like 7. And then
Jesus, so wait, Nate doesn't need sleep. I see how it is. Okay, yes. But you will...
Then sleep till like... I mean, no, you don't go sleep that early. You sleep during the hottest part of the day.
No, you're like in this kind of mindset. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you might miss somebody else. Okay, so I guess before your nap, you come into the inn and you see somebody else is enjoying their little breakfast.
Yeah, pancakes.
Pancakes indeed, yeah. Cooper kind of like served up and then actually comes and join you and like sits down.
Unexpected treat.
Cooper like kind of so also like, well, are we staying here long?
Look at Nate.
We need to get to Port Peril pretty soon, I'd imagine.
Is Shelby chasing us out? Is she, man? Because of the ship?
No, not really.
Didn't we out of game? We already had a conversation with Shelby about the ship before, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
But like the last time we were here.
Yeah. She was a little disgruntled, but she'll probably be too mad at you all.
Honestly, can't really remember how much time do we have, because the woman from Neruma, right?
Mm-hmm. We don't know how much time.
Yeah.
Because unless she has something convincing to offer the captains, they wouldn't just jump at the idea.
Yeah, but we need to do the archetype stuff.
Closing game was out of game.
Yeah. I don't think Did the rest
So-
of us know about the woman even?
No, just no. You two haven't even heard about this. Like, what you were.
Oh, didn't we all talk
No,
about?
you they two.
I think it was
Quicksil-
just us two that
Quicksil
were
and
there.
yeah, Johnny were out with the cooks
Oh,
with the
okay.
sorry, not cooks with the
Yeah.
Tengu for the evening. It was just
Pixels.
you and Altair who were speaking with Shelby.
Let me see if I got the name. I don't. Okay.
I don't think we ever got it.
Oh, what's that?
What her actual name was.
Oh, you never got it.
What were
It
we talking
is.
about?
Jack, you told me I already did it, but I didn't bother checking it. You liar.
The
Oh, yeah, I
leader
said talk to
of Naruma.
Yeah, because he wrote
You
it
said
down.
you saw what I did. Yeah, I didn't say it last time, Nate. Alright.
I don't remember.
I mean,
it being
I
said.
didn't write it down, but
One sec, ChatGPT will be right there. Their name is. Why are they so fancy sounding? Well, that's a fancy.
They are a leader of a
sounding.
small city.
Isabella.
It's really like a
Yeah, but like there's stuff like a Callista Sunfire.
I mean, I
Here
have
we
a-
go.
let's say
I
Hellfire.
have a
No,
really
they don't sound
hard
like that.
time figuring out how to
Callie.
spell,
There you go.
It is
spell
Bryn
the weird names.
Zorn.
Okay.
I can't kill a Rin.
Bryn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You kill a Bryn, right?
copy that in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, I mean,
Middle
okay,
initials
this one's
is E,
not
so it's just
too,
Brian.
This one's not too bad.
Big old BT.
Yeah, I said I wanted. They have like give me finance with more down to earth feel. That's what ChatGPT was like. Give something with more of a down to earth feel. Like good,
Brilliant.
down to earth.
Nice. Brian.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you were told this yesterday by Shelby, but you hadn't discussed it yet with Quicksilver
Yep.
and John.
So yeah, we fill them in over flapjacks.
It's crazy you American school pancakes. Flapjack's like a
They're
different thing.
pancakes.
Wait, but
Flapjacks
she-
is more of a Western.
Wait, but you're the
like,
home of the National House of Pancakes, are you not?
Hop, yeah.
But like, do you have to distinguish
These
like
are
flap?
facts.
Like we
I
call
was
like,
just joking, calling it Flapjacks is kind of like the older name
but like you know,
used in
flapjacks
like American Western history.
Flapjack's like a thing in the UK. It's like a kind of like a baked like oat bar with like kind of sugar
Really?
and kind of chewy.
Huh.
You know?
Yeah, it says that if I Google Flapjack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we got European Google though, so we can't really trust.
European Google. Anyway,
Can't
yes.
Google it.
So the American flapjack version, yes. So you
Apparently,
explained
it's
you
about-
fill in.
Girth. That's the
Oh.
difference between flapjacks and
Yeah,
thickness
right.
specifically.
I don't know. You used the word girth. You could have said thickness. You used girth.
Yeah.
Oh, I chose girth on purpose.
Yeah, I can tell. I would always choose girth on purpose.
There's also
Alright, anyways, while you're having your girthy breakfast, you
Hot and spicy morning.
Yeah, so maybe you guys are having pancakes. Out there is having
of
flapjacks.
course. Okay, yeah. So you fill in there, yes.
there's also American pancakes are like super thick, right?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Girthy, super girthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean-
stop looking at the girthy pancakes, Mio. For
I mean,
God's
I
sake.
I
guess-
had some of those actually last week.
Can they even
They were
fit in your mouth? I don't know.
freaking delicious. They're so good.
They're so good.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
quite the
the-
mouthful.
How to pronounce that stuff?
Focus me up, focus.
Alright, I'm bringing
Yeah.
it back.
No,
I'll
I'm-
ask.
There you go.
I'm
Back to the
starting
game.
pancakes.
So,
This
hey,
comes
woman.
I'm glad
we
I didn't
go.
bother pairing. I'm glad I didn't
Good
bother.
old Lady Thorn, Bryn Thorn is gonna be, doing
The
stuff
thorn
to
in
try
our
to get the
side.
captions. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She'll be attempting to convince Lord Barter for assistance from the captains.
Yeah.
Yeah, so someone
Head them over the
mentioned
pass.
an option of dealing with Bryn is for her to have an accident.
Hmm.
And
It is a dangerous pass she'll be traveling through.
yeah, personally though, I'm not a huge fan.
How
of the
can
option.
how can we expect her to have an accident? Isn't that the problem?
I mean, I think the idea was the accident to be arranged.
Yes. Did not expect to hear that from Shelby, but
It's very
By us, masterminds.
spicy plan.
yes. If that is
Well-
what we believe, like if she is the obstacle between
Well,
potential
please.
peace between the lizard folk and humans, then I mean,
We did make a promise we would try.
right. I'd prefer not to go straight to the accident, but you know.
I mean, obviously, yeah. You gotta try something else first.
Like what?
We're not monsters. At
Convince
best, I don't
them.
know. I'll,
Use your words, Crixel.
Someone else can probably figure that out better. Yeah, conversation! Convince! Give
Yeah.
something in turn? I don't know.
When
Yes.
diplomacy
Good.
fails is when we jump to the accident.
I'll try an Eruxi.
You say fail, so it's just a different type of diplomacy.
No, I definitely wouldn't use Iruxi around her.
But I've been practicing my speeches.
Yeah, that's for
How
the
do-
Iruxi, not for Bryn.
How they
No, that
propose?
seems
How
messy.
they propose that we convince her? I mean, apparently, at least according to Shelby,
Mhm.
she is very. I mean, she lost everything.
Yes.
I guess, and I mean,
Correct.
the town was taken
How-
over. And
How do you convince someone
Right.
to do something that may not be their first idea? Do you give them a better alternative or show them the futility of their path?
But say Old South Reef is destroyed. Everyone dies.
Mhm.
What can be offered as recompense?
yeah, I mean, you can't
We
expect.
start the new Salt Reef. That's
Yeah.
right. That's like the idea is. We give them an opportunity to start anew somewhere else with assistance, rather than trying to take back what is already lost.
You think that's possible? You think she thinks that's
obviously.
possible?
She's probably
mean,
not
yeah.
thinking of that. That is what we need to do, is get her to think about that. Weigh the options and decide based on those.
Old Salt Reef is its people. Without them,
Yeah.
Right,
New Village
but-
wouldn't make sense.
Right, but not all of her people are gone.
Are they not?
But if you kill,
I don't
how,
think so.
How
If
the
she is, she's
people-
a real shit leader. If only she saved herself. Then an accident would be the least she would deserve.
I mean, I don't see. I mean, if either
Plus,
In
what
her
would be the
place,
point?
with
Getting the Ruma back
somehow-
for yourself?
we've been taken
Yes.
over, there wouldn't be convincing me. That's for sure.
Right, but let's say that Old Salt Reef we found was ancient burial ground of I don't know, a dwarven kind. They could prove
Forming.
that they were before.
Doesn't matter. I'm just forming ideas in my head. Yeah, it's
Yeah, exactly. Who knew, right? Yeah. No, but like
Explains all the Dwarven ghost
How did
haunting
you
you, don't it?
guess?
exactly.
Fast, man.
It's like the one race we haven't seen this whole campaign. I don't think.
I
least I
have a
won't.
Dwarven
Never mind.
issue.
That's right. It's right. It's right. I was gonna say the firebrand, right?
Yeah.
That. No. If they showed us that, then they came and maybe diplomacy failed. They took over Old Salt 3, but we still had enough people alive. Would we fight endlessly for the city itself, or would we be more inclined to take the survivors and start new?
Fair.
Right?
see what you mean.
I don't think we're attached to this location. As you said, it's the people that make Old Salt Reef.
If enough
We
survives,
just have to
could be
convince Bryn
good
the
arguments.
same. I guess in other ways, like the storm moved in such a way that it just destroyed Old Salt Reef, the town itself. The people were left. We'd restart. Resilient
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Do we know which roads she takes? Can we intercept?
Which road she'll take to get to?
Or peril?
I think there's not many choices, right? In talking with Shelby, it's a dangerous and difficult path through the mountains.
Ah, perfect place for an accident. Although so far away from water.
Sounds pretty pirate-like.
I mean, you
What, just being in the mountains?
Sorry, what?
About that.
The accident thing, I think, is what he's
Yeah,
saying.
the accident thing, not the mountain. Yes, no,
Yeah, we'll sail those mountains like no man's business. But yeah, that's. I think we can go to Port Peril, see if she's already arrived, since she clearly would have had a head start. So try to stop her, to discuss it, convince her of the error of her ways. If she's not there, then we can work backwards and try to meet her along the roads in the mountains.
I see.
I mean,
So we must leave quickly then. No rest.
Not for the wicked.
Almost.
I mean,
Percent.
I
Like,
don't
it was like, by the
know.
way, if I don't like to talk accents, but if there is something we just slip in some soup, let me know, but I'll keep that.
I thought that
I
was
definitely
a
do not make
taboo
the joke.
subject.
It's clearly at mind right now.
He doesn't even know what you're talking.
Of course not.
Just
I said we wouldn't talk about it. Or he would do the
Exactly.
thing that we don't want to talk about.
Yeah. I think I did remember that briefly. I think before we discussed it a little bit, like the kind of distance it would be for like Naruma, if we managed to know like roughly how long it was. I think we came to the conclusion like because of different train, it probably would be like something like up to like a month, probably in realistic cases of like trying to travel through, like very rough sort of timeline of how many weeks it would be. But it's not a very half road traveled, and obviously it's a dangerous place. You also want to travel, not alone, and that slows you down, etc.
That's right. It's like 300 kilometers in a straight line.
Yeah, exactly. And these lines are definitely not straight.
No.
Yes, anyway, but okay. He was like, alright, well, I'll go make sure, see if I can stock up on any more salt and spices. Take your eggs while we're waiting. Gives you a wink and then, stands up and heads in the direction of the ship.
I did not give him eggs.
Not yet.
Okay.
Alright, I think we should be preparing for sarcophagus.
Yeah,
Are they born in eggs? Legitimately, I have no idea.
I think you must be
Sorry?
born in eggs. I think you must be
Yeah,
eggs.
right?
The
Really?
birds. The birds!
Yeah, we have got a nest, like metaphorical nest and stuff. So I think we're still egg-like.
And? Okay.
Must be. Hey, take this hatch from eggs. Here we go.
Okay.
I mean, but don't birds eat other birds?
I mean,
Sometimes,
Tengu's eating some chicken. Cook's eating some chicken during your chow, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that full grown
I think you
birds
said
is
this is
fine.
the best shit
Like
I've
saying
ever had.
humans eat other mammals. Like, yeah, we do. Like,
I don't know. That's
I mean,
just
Jakku
like
doesn't,
a
but other
joke.
humans do. Alright. Yeah, okay, so yes, you start to pack up the ship, people, as sad as you don't, but people also, like you're allowed to kind of help you also if you have, like loading on any more supplies or anything. You get, nice, general questions, ask where you're going, assume you actually say Port Power, they're like, oh, cool, big city, blah, blah, Nice small talk, but unless there's anything else you want to do in particular, by the time we get towards midday, the boat is ready to set sail again.
I want to give a quick thanks to Marak for teaching me the tango ways of the bottle smashing and stuff, appeasing the gods, and it seems to have worked.
Yes.
So that's all I want.
That is the
Learning.
compliment. Okay, he's like nods at his beak, joking at him, but thanks you for showing respect. And then, if there's nothing else anyone to do, you can start your trip south towards the port. And I think, in the interest of time, we will skip quite quickly over the travel. You have sailed this route quite a few times before now in your life.
Yeah. Everyone is afraid of me.
Yeah, but you don't get to use those random encounter. Random encounter very unlikely now, but there's a chance. But you don't get to roll it. So you force me to do it. So let me roll a d4 and then we get there. But it's very rare. It's only on a 20 that you make me check something. Nah, not a 20. Johnny, on a 19, 20. I'll do that. I'll get us one. Do a d20, Johnny?
A D20?
Yeah. But I haven't fed anything, so try not to do it.
Don't roll
Don't do it that.
Oh, fuck's sake!
Oh,
Well, that's pretty high.
It's me.
Fat fingered.
Nice, quiet. You know, Mia, after the days you've had sailing along the horn of the Southern Land region, you know, you're used to the battering winds and the terrifying gales threatening to blow out the sails. And this kind of nice sheltered trip into Port Peril in like this kind of sunny Caribbean, calmer ocean is quite relaxing for you after your time at sea. So for the rest, it is a much quieter and less eventful travel down south. Oh, by the way, of course, Hazzy would also have said goodbye. Probably in the morning, he would have come over and, you know, checked where you were going and, you know, just said, we'll keep contact. Try and find message if anything important happened here. Kind of nods, yeah.
Yes. Good luck.
Good luck.
Goodbye.
Yes. And then, so after 4 days travel, so on the 24th of Callistril, you can all give yourselves, you know, as many long letters as you want. You see the, in the distance, Port Peril.
Could I,
the sights, the smells, the sounds approaching. Yes, sir?
Lovely. Could I add an extra day to my retraining? Oh no, wait! I don't no longer have Hazi to split with.
Yeah, right. That's one thing, right? Yeah. Now you unfortunately need all hands on deck for the ship, so to say. Yeah, you don't have time to practice. You know,
we should have gotten some more people.
Twirling, whatever.
From
Ben's just
also the
waiting there to
Reefers
get
Scrubs.
hired, you know. Ben's just waiting.
yeah.
Well,
should have grabbed Ben.
they're just completely
Yeah.
fine to be on the ship. They don't have to do shit.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
Wait,
we need Ben to scrub the floor.
You're like 3 days in, and you're like, this deck could really use Ben scrubbing, you know. Is it too late to turn back?
it's too high standards.
Yeah, that is. No, maybe next time you kind of, you know, set your mind. You're quite in a rush to get to Port Peril, and yes, you
Buy some slaves because we're so good.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's definitely Port Peril is a place to be. As you, you know, you kind of sail your way into the Crescent Harbor. You know, you go back to the what's it called, the dock keeper who is always, you know, trying to scam you for money. But you know, they kind of, you've been here a couple of times now, so it's a little bit harder now. You know, you're a repeat visitor. So you paid, I don't know, like whatever. I make a different amount every time, like they do. I don't know, like this time, like 5 silver for like, you know, docking the boat there. They don't really say how much time that passes. They kind of
We
shrug.
go visit our buddy, Captain, Merchant, Boss.
Okay, yes, so you get there on the 24th, you don't waste much time around, you dock the ship over on there, and you take a little, what's called, like, smaller boat over to Eastwind to go speak with Captain Wright,
So,
I imagine who you're talking about.
What was it, 5 silver?
Yeah, so we'll pay 5 silver for the boat mooring.
Okay. I paid it.
Good, good.
So, we need a map. Where's the map?
You should be able to go to the Port Peril map, aren't you? Or
Nope,
No,
not visible.
No.
Port Peril's gym only? Oh, what the fuck? My bad. There you go. You should be able to see
You
it.
have the drawing map, world map, and landing page as well.
Can you see it now? Oh no, wait, I clicked
Nope.
the wrong thing. My bad. I turned off navigation so
Yeah.
I can everybody.
Whoa, what is this massive ship here in the middle of everything? Oh,
It's gone. There you go. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Never was it.
We
Never was it.
upgraded.
That's for the next, like that boat that he messaged in the chat the other day, like the city-sized one.
Exactly. Bigger than.
oh, that's gonna be our next ship. Ooh.
That's gonna, you know, if Quicksilver can get out, it's that one.
I'm pretty sure that one takes like a crew of 4,000 to operate.
Right, it's fine. We can get 4,000 slaves, right?
What's out the slave? Fuck, the check costs a slave in Pathfinder 3.
We have the money. Wait, you don't.
Jesus,
pay
what
them,
is this?
do
A cheap Isekai?
we just take slaves. We don't even buy them. Then it's free.
Wow, that's real slaving there, you know. Okay, yeah. So you arrive in. What you want to go over to see Captain Wright's office, Nate? Like with everyone together.
Yeah, check if
You know,
there's
as you walk
anyone
by, you kind of walk by the
already.
big inn. You see, you know, in Crescent Harbor, you know, Crescent Harbor's a rough and tumble place as always. You know, you see like the big kind of board with all like the kind of notes and stuff, you know, hidden to it. If anyone wants to take a peek at that while you're walking along, obviously you can.
By the way, I'd imagine Nate would like. I mean, he wasn't here for a while. We'll need to ask around about the plan.
About that.
Green Thorn.
Oh, yeah.
About what?
Oh, are you asking who you would ask, or are you saying you need to?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go look in inns, right?
So what is this for?
Uh,
Looking at the banner board.
You know, so You see, all right, Johnny. You're just kind of with Crixel as you walk around. Kind of your two kind of buddy. You see, Crixel is really inspecting the lost and found post for the inn, and you kind of see the bounty board is like on the other side of the doorway, and he's looking at lost and found, and he's like Crixel's getting a little confused. It says like
There's so many trinkets.
It says like one leather boot, and Crixel's like, what could the quest be for this leather boot? Like, what could it possibly entail? And it's just the lost and found written in big letters.
I like that. Quest. Yeah, just. The other side.
Oh, the treasures here now.
The ballad of
The
the
other
lost
side.
boot.
That's. I think that's what you really want.
Right, I'll turn around.
Yeah, you see the actual bounty putting you aside. Thanks to the point out action from Johnny. You don't need to do a new check, luckily.
So,
Right,
So yes, Nate, if you wanted to like
Thank God
gather
for the point down
information,
action.
so for instance, it would be a diplomacy check to kind of like ask around different taverns, see if anyone's heard of someone called Bryn Sawn who's come in recently. You could do this gather information check maybe in Crescent Harbor if you're sort of likely. You could also do it in East Wind or any of the other areas to kind of like see what stories are like kind of around there, see if there's any new visitors, any information which can be found out, any rumors, etc., etc. But that
Where
would
would
be
like the
kind of-
pirate council group be?
like the actual like kind of the buildings where they would have like the real sort of meetings and stuff would be in High Eastwind.
I assumed.
Yeah.
Probably this big ass building.
Yeah, why not? Looks nice. I was thinking maybe it was this one actually. Yeah, I like this one.
or,
actually.
or this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, there's like a key. I had like a map or something, but it didn't so long.
Or this one. Yeah, I just realized there's like 4 big ass buildings.
Sometimes they have different places they like to go.
True.
But
Maybe it's this one that's hidden in the
exactly
mountain.
It's like hidden. Wait, which one hidden mountain?
I was just looking at like.
Oh, like all that shit? No,
Couple,
that shit
yeah.
is like, you need to at least know that Puzzle hasn't changed that much since you've been there. And like the whole kind of like area underneath is, what's it called? It's like kind of, it's a lot of like kind of really cheap merchants, or not cheap merchants, so like kind of a bit more like, a bit less aware to do, so there are people who can't like afford, either like a shop in High Eastwind or Eastwind might do here. They're quite good warehouses as well because it's like out of the sun and the water, so a lot of storage supplies is up there. But you also hear like a lot of stories like also a place where like slaves might be kept because it's like also very easy to like hide people down here or stuff like this.
Okay.
The kind of the fort thing on the rift, that's like a very old thing, which is what's it called? That was actually conducted by like a very old pirate lord, but now it's actually owned by a merchant who's considered one of like the richest in Port Barrel. And it's not really actual. It was the Port Pirate Council themselves. For most of them, the individuals actually have like their kind of own island in the Shackles, and they kind of meet here for like kind of like large kind of like council meetings. But most of the time, they're actually on their own island. It's quite rare to have all the pirate captains at once here. It would be a very rare event.
Yeah. And actually, that brings up like where we're, obviously harboring the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see like in the bay incredibly, massive / fancy ass ships? Unlike the ones that we had seen before.
In Crescent Harbor, no. Mostly say like as you kind of so again, you see one that I guess sticks out to you is you do notice a Pathfinder ship that you've seen previously. That one is there, the Albatross something.
I'm looking at the bounty board. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And apart from that, you see normally the bigger ships are like kind of moored in the Eastern area if they are. If they're like kind of bigger, but as you kind of take if Nate Elite, for instance, wants to take the ferry on over to what's it called to find out
Eastwind
about Captain Wright, then he would see that there are some big ships there, but none that like completely stand out from any of them.
Is there also no there's no harbor for High Eastwind? You just have to go at Eastwind and make your way around?
Yeah, it's kind of based, I think, on like the kind of waters area kind of thing. Like the kind of rocks there don't really make it so easy to like moor a ship and everything. So you would indeed have to normally moor at Eastwind and then take a carriage or whatever over. Yeah. Yes. Beggar Bly. I mean, yeah, it's been a while so I can describe it. But Beggar Bly, which is like that area there, is more like the kind of dry docks area, where like a lot of kind of shipbuilding goes on like that, and they would sort of like live in these houses. It's like where most of the shipwrights work. And what's it called? Yeah, I guess that's most.
The dark area on the map, that's like underground or?
Yes, that's like I just read a bit out of that's like kind of like cabins underneath like the kind of rockiness. You can kind of see the other ones, which is like kind of warehouses, a bit more like shady underground merchants or like deals that you want to get done.
Yeah, that looks like the only way to High Eastwind, unless I missed something on the map.
That's the only way to High Eastwind. You can just go
Yeah.
around to North, right? From Eastwind.
Yeah, you need to go
There's
to
a
the underground.
border.
Wait, what? Why do you need to go to the underground? You can just go
I mean,
from like. You would just go from the boats here, right? And up.
yeah, but if you look at the roads on the map,
You look at the water.
the,
Oh,
the
you mean
en-
from the land, from like land itself?
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry. I thought you meant. Oh, okay, yes. If you're coming from like the Tour Uplands, yes, you would think it is incredibly rare that anyone of good social standing would actually ever head from the land towards High Eastwind. You know, that doesn't really people with social standing don't really like land that much. So yes, normally then they would have to go through like the underground. Yes, to do that. That's true. That is true.
Okay,
Or of
I'll
course you would
point
go to
out-
Beggarby. The more likely would be actually you go to Beggarby and then take a boat over to like Eastwind would be the way like most people would actually do it. To be honest. So yes, Victor.
I'll point out, yeah, I was just looking with Johnny at the bounty board. I'll be like, you're in luck. The acrobat hasn't been found yet.
Exactly. Very lucky.
Lucky for us, not for the acrobat.
Maybe he ran off.
Maybe there's someone came and they replaced him. Needed a replacement
Yeah.
already.
we're doing that.
I mean, our old contact, right? The Pathfinders has a quest.
He's in Pathfinder, yeah?
Yeah. This one that here from Stella Fane.
Stella Fane, was that the woman we met on the past?
Also,
mission?
that the
Yeah,
missing
that
sun
was-
one,
that
disappearing
was-
sun man, pays them a pretty penny.
She was the badass.
We'll just
right?
do that in the side.
Yep, she was indeed.
What about the expert sailors, huh?
So
I mean, we
The
don't
tour.
really have necessarily at the time to take on such a task right now if we intend to stop, Bryn.
Yeah, but I think that's it's extremely important for us to maybe explore the area near the Shackles. For
Getting
one
closer
reason
to
or
the eye
another.
didn't go well last time.
Yeah.
Better
I think we're
sailing.
quite ready for being too close to the eye.
By the way,
Are we technically expert sailors? To discount our abilities.
no,
is
but
like-
we would like to be.
Yeah, exactly. You fake it till you make it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you chat about that.
I like- Do any of us actually have like expert in sailing lore or
No.
No, I mean I could have
Training
better
ocean.
sailing lore, but I want to be a trick driver, so I don't have to.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so it would be illogical to improve it. manually.
Yeah.
Before that, yeah.
I mean, I want to do the repair a ship thing, but that's just like downtime, I think. That we will have to
Yeah,
just chill and
That's
prepare.
like, yeah.
But
Yeah.
these, I have so many like
we
artifact
could
feats. I'm sure
take,
you
you
do
know,
as well, Mace, where they're just unfilled. So
This is the tour, right? We should show,
Yeah.
we could do that. Show them all parts of it, including dangers on the sea. Just take them with us when we, I don't know, do something else
I
dangerous.
don't think people would want to come onto, I mean, no offense, but our current ship.
Oh, the things.
I mean, you have a very good point there.
It's like, here, sleep in the
Listen.
cupboard.
I mean, looks like there's just one person.
but
That is true,
sounds rich.
There's
Maybe he has
rich.
own ship.
Yeah, could be.
Who knows?
But before, I wanted to ask Ian if he remembers about our venture.
You want? Sorry. So what's happening? Sorry, right. You're at,
Yeah.
you're saying Captain Right? You talking about it?
Yeah, about that. If our money should start arriving yet or not, or should we?
We can just
set
check
up,
our
like,
bank
a
account for that.
Bank account, yeah.
Yeah. You set up an account.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a little bit of happening, right? Because like you kind of see the bounty ball, and then you also like kind of go after it. Like, so I guess you're kind of like splitting up a little bit, right? Or are you kind of like sticking together, or do you need things at the? I just kind of.
We're sticking together.
You're gonna get sticking
Okay.
together. Okay, so yeah,
We're all in this together.
Okay. Then you spend a little bit of time, I guess, at the bank board here, but while you're still discussing it, you head on over to Eastwind, and yeah, you want to go to like the bank to kind of see anything in the account. Yeah, when you ask, they shake their head and say there's been no deposits as of yet.
I mean, it's only been like what, a couple of weeks since we were last
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I think you to kind of like remember a little
Said
bit.
once a
You
month.
ensure exactly, and then it was also contingent on the first like shipment, right, which needs to get sent down. And for instance, it's been I checked now it's been 3 and a bit weeks since you like left. What's his name? Emmett, like with like the boat, and like even then he had to get like obviously filled up with the stuff and then like sent down, right? And the route itself, you saw would probably take about a month south, the quickest. So it probably you would imagine to be at least a couple more weeks before the money would start flowing in. And bureaucracy, they got to get the supplies there, count it out, value it, etc., etc. It is business, isn't it?
Oh, that's disappointing. Do we have?
The bank kind of shake their head like we
But
should have made a deposit
unsurprising.
then.
Yeah.
Do we have anything to sell in Farflank?
I mean,
Forest,
yes.
maybe?
Right? Because we
Do
have.
we have anything to sell?
We picked up
I
some
mean,
shit,
we
right?
could
I thought.
pick up like some swords or something.
Yeah, you got like some simple sort of like
Yeah, I got a striking returning spear and a sturdy shields. So,
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. You can step up to it if you wish. It's quite easy in Porto.
okay, so half of 360 is 180. And half of 155 is
Ooh, that's hard.
70.
77.5.
Yeah, okay.
255.5. No, yeah.
I remember if we were. We could check into far-flung findings and see if they have any new shit.
Yeah. Helpful findings.
We still technically have a bit of a store credit there.
You do have a sort of
Hmm.
Alright, alright. Also, I wanted to ask, these shipwrights they're asking for, how long of a job is that usually? Or like how long would I be expected to?
So it's very.
Okay.
So it's like it's very. Okay, yeah. So would you
I don't know
go
which
and
level
like you
maybe.
want to actually go over to like Beg a Buy and like ask around?
Yeah, for if Nate's going to the bank and stuff, I might as well.
Nate really didn't want to split up, but I'm sure you won't notice if you
Oh,
wander out.
Um,
Sure, it's fun if you wander. Yeah, they kind of when you kind of speak to like the foreman who's kind of working at the shipyard, and he says like generally they're on hard and fast rules, but if you work there for like less than a week, it's a little difficult to like actually get you up to speed. But after that, normally like any kind of week, 8 days, and like any kind of less than that. He kind of explains that once you have like done it the first time, he's a bit more like willing to like have you work like just odd days if you're like kind of here while your own ship is being moored in what's it called? The docks.
I've learned much in recent days. Fast learner.
Yeah, Foreman shrugs and like talk is cheap. If you want to prove it, you're willing. You always need some people.
We'll come back, I think. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
try and
just
find
shrugs,
others
and then like starts shouting orders at some others. And yeah, you kind of meet the others. They're like leaving the back.
So, the woman, probably not. If she's on foot, will take a while, right?
yeah.
But it has been a few weeks since
True.
Nuruma fell.
So, what now? Venture in mountains?
I mean, we can ask around, right? Search for any news or sign that she's arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we'd want to check and make sure she hadn't already arrived before we just set off into the mountains.
Yes, would be a waste.
Mhm. So I guess we visit
Yes.
the inns.
Yeah,
Ask
anyone who
around.
wants to start gathering information about her, you can give me a blind diplomacy check as you kind of ask around. You kind of like, I'm guessing you kind of split up at this point at least to cover more ground, or do you still kind of go as a group?
I mean, we could like split up.
Probably.
and-
I'm
maybe.
really bad at diplomacy, so maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe you're just hanging out with somebody as like
Yeah.
girlfriend. Obviously, anyone who doesn't want to be there and just following around can also be. Shackles. Port Bel's also a little bit of a dangerous place. Doesn't hurt to have a little bodyguard with you.
Okay, who wants to do the asking around?
I mean,
Everyone else?
Altel is the royal envoy.
Yeah, I mean, you probably want me to do it. I also technically have this if it wouldn't matter at all.
Okay, it wouldn't for this, but maybe you find something else that you want to make a request about.
Yeah. Okay. But here's my.
outrageous request, like please don't take back Naruma.
It's a bit of a shameless, outrageous request. So here's my blind GM roll.
Okay, yeah. So Altair now is quite a charming individual. You can say the master of the spoken word. You're asking about. Are you focusing mainly
Literally
on
master.
the inns in like Eastwind where you're like currently at, or are you going like nowhere else in particular? Just because this kind of covers like a several hour or like at least a couple of hour activity. So just like you're kind of focusing on the kind of slightly nicer inns. Assuming that she will, maybe be somewhere not too scrupulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay, then no, so you have a chat with people, you kind of mention the name, and you talk with some people who are also like you're trying to find people like, okay, who are the kind of people who would actually know. So there's a couple of people who are like in charge of like the Eastern dockyards, so similar to how you previously met the one at Crescent Harbor, the person like there, even though you're not sure if she would come by ship, they kind of confirm throughout the conversation that we've had no one by that name, at least provide a mooring. You speak of course to the actual innkeepers of like people in there, are just I'm looking for a friend who I want if they have visited this place lately.
Yeah.
Kind of share that around.
When I'm like asking around or just talking, like hearing talks in the bars or on the docks, are people talking about Naruma?
No, like you hear it like at one point, like you're doing it for like 3 hours, you hear like one conversation about people who are like said, there's like a couple, it depends if you go and you join the conversation, they don't talk about it much, but they mention, it actually seems to be more like merchants who mention that, the trades might be like, the business might be like looking down for the next few weeks while we find another source, assuming of like slaves or something else, right? But they don't seem like that upset about the situation, they're just like much more like a kind of business associated mindset, like we lost a supplier, we've got to find somebody else kind of thing. But apart from that, you don't hear any like civilians, for instance, who sound like they've been personally affected. It's more just like
That's
problems.
kind of what I figured. And like while it's news, it's distant enough that no one's like, oh no, my family's in trouble in the room. Like it's okay. Gotcha.
Yes, don't know. You
so no sign.
No sign of her as of yet, it seems.
Okay.
Well,
if we look at the map, like what would be the most likely, like how would they arrive in the city if they were to take the roads the whole way?
Yeah. Rose is also a strong
southeast.
But Rose is a little bit stronger for a lot of it. There isn't like a real road. Yes, probably the most likely way would probably either to head into Beggarbriar from like from the outside, like from that area, and head in there. They could of course potentially like kind of go up to like one of the entrances like over here. So this one isn't even an entrance technically. I'm trying to see. No, I think so.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's funny because it doesn't look like it, but like, then why the
Funny.
fuck did you build that gate?
I have something which is a little bit more detailed about what these places are. Okay. Oh, actually, interesting enough, when you hear about this, maybe it's from those same people. That place on the outside is actually known as Saltfish Camp, which is actually a place where like slaves are kept. That's maybe why it's kind of near Mwangi, or like near not Mwangi, but the mainland, because this would be the first sort of place they come in. So potentially that would actually be quite a likely place for her to visit. But you probably might have contacts there, for example, or stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we can, and since that's kind of where we'd be heading, right? Like if we're going to be heading inland, so we probably need to go and pay for I don't know, a week, 2 weeks. Like how long do we need to put down for the harbor?
I think 2 weeks
stuff?
for it to be safe, yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too expensive, right?
5 silver a day.
Yeah, but now we're rich.
Yeah.
What? When?
I just
Remember
sold
how we
2
went
items, so I'm
incredibly?
rich.
Oh, right. That's fair. You remember to do it for the 50%, right?
Yeah. And we got total on 292 right now.
Nice.
It's something. I also before,
I wanna say-
like maybe during or after. I don't know who wants to join, but I do want to go to the Pathfinder ship.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
you know,
go back
LTA is like
to
asking around a
pay-
lot. It does take like 3 or 4 hours, you know, when you get information with this all in. So there would be, I guess, a good amount of time to do that then, if you wanted to.
Sure, did you
We
want
find
to
out
say
that
something?
it's our old friend that's missing.
Maybe. Anybody want to join?
I'm guessing I can't since I'm the one
Yeah,
checking
you're a
for
little
Bryn.
busy.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah. I'll go.
Nate, you staying with like an LTA or you will like join
Yeah,
us?
I guess I'll be asking around the hotel.
Oh, okay, you can move to check the road and maybe you hear something he doesn't.
I'm sure, yeah, I can go for people, right?
No, people, you know, with smiling faces. Nate, I'm sure everyone will spill their darkest secrets to you. People see it. You know, times have changed since you were. What is it with the new generation? Always now, never have time for a friendly word to one another. Always focused on work. You know, you
basically
can't really
New
see.
York
You're just like
of-
trying all your old sort of like, you know, phases to struck up a conversation like all bad weather having artificially on biting this season. It falls in deaf ears. It falls, you know, you find it hard to struggle to join a conversation despite your best attempts.
Let me check if my dice stats are showing.
No, you can't check that. Cheating. Cheating.
He's got a share button or something. You
Yeah,
can't
I
just
gotta
see it.
click when it shares to everybody. Okay. Yeah, so Crystal and Johnny, you go over to the Vision Albatross, if I can remember the name. Yeah, the ship is kind of like, you know, just moored there. It's, you know, you remember previously, it's kind of like, it's a very big one, you know, people do come and go a little bit, so, you know, there are a couple of people kind of, you know, watch at the, what's it called? What's it using this bit that goes up onto the ship?
The gangplank.
The gangplank.
Or gangway. Gangplank is more like the plank where you jump off into the ocean.
Is that
Or-
also called the gangplank, the bit you stand on to like walk onto it?
I thought it was a gangway, but
I don't know. When I said gangplank, I just get fucking league.
same.
I mean, anyway,
No.
yes, you know, there's a couple people standing there, and you know, most people when they do come and go, they usually give them maybe like a quick question eye, and if you do walk up, they do just like kind of like.
I was correct.
Kinda like-
Gangway is the narrow patches that joins the quarterdeck to the forecastle of a sailing ship. Terms also extended to mean the narrow patches used to like board a ship.
Sure. I go on the gang.
You go on the gang. You join the gang. Yeah, they do ask like
One
Business
word.
Dig into
too.
my stuff and like pull out you know, the Wayfinder like temporary badge or whatever, you know, like
Oh, they look a little bit confused. Oh, cool.
Your little
Not-
associate
not a member.
or your
but
junior Pathfinder. Like,
It's
Yeah,
Gauss, man.
badges.
Yeah, they look a little confused when you say you're not maybe like, how'd you get that? I mean,
Friend
some of
of,
these, but
friend of more hash.
Morvesh.
the eyes go wide a bit. Oh, that's about it.
Sorry, what did I say?
You know something?
About him?
Yeah. Does it feel like concerned?
Yes, he's told me stories. He was investigating ancient ruins. He
Sad I'm not there.
I got like it starts sharing like some stories. he's
Yeah,
told
they
us,
kind of,
like,
you know, as you kind of go on a little bit, they're like, yeah, I know that, and I mean, are you aware about the poster? You've heard what happened to him?
Is he the one
It-
missing?
Yeah, they kind of like the person at the bar, like, I thought you knew. No, yeah, he's the one missing.
Oh, yeah, sure, look at Johnny.
Well, that's not good.
How he so strong?
He was out looking for a hand.
Horrible. I'm
I'm not there, so I can't actually have said that.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah,
he
you get
already
the
found
bus.
a
Yeah,
hand as well, right? Like,
when Johnny says, you know, how can you say they kind of shrug. Yeah, it's we're a bit stoned to be honest, and yeah, you're right. He was a strong one. There aren't too many of us who were. If he's in trouble, we're a bit worried. And not many of us are able to. At least not many of us here are able to find out what happened and see posting Fame made.
Trying to speak to Stella Atois.
Can we go talk to Salafane?
Yeah, they kind of say, yeah, if you're a fan of his, I guess that's a good idea.
Just realized that I never recognized how close her name was to cellophane.
I mean,
So,
yeah. So they kind of say, "Go." She's in a. You know your way around it.
know my way to canteen. She
There's a
there?
good chance she's there, Lincoln. Go have a look.
Grab a beer either way.
Yeah, they nod and kind of, look the head towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you head down below decks, and yeah, there's this nice kind of large sort of canteen, dining room area, and quite busy even now, but it's not actually okay. Busy, it's busy, but it looks not as bustling as maybe when you were last here. Especially you see people who some of them also don't look like, but maybe they're all Pathfinders. The boat can be used for other purposes as well. So it's the additional Pathfinders maybe not as high as before. But yeah, you do see her sitting kind of at the far back of the room, kind of sitting at a table with seems like she's playing some form of maybe cards with herself, like some game of solitaire.
Is there music just sort of playing somewhere? Okay, no,
You head over towards her?
Yeah, I'll head over.
Wait, I lost all sound. I thought for a second it was just my foundry. Wait, what?
Can you not hear us?
Oh, no, I can't. That was really weird. Yeah, I'm back.
Oh,
I think I accidentally had this button on my keyboard at first. Okay, yeah, sorry. So yeah, she's sitting in the back playing like a game of solitaire.
Yeah, I'll head over there. I'll dig into my bags and pull out the book that she signed. And
Yeah, she seems quite observant. When you get near, she looks up quite quickly. Well, it's a loud room, and you think you don't make that much noise. You're a quiet individual, but she still kind of raises her eye and says, immediately, you see there's like a flash of some sort of recognition in her face, but maybe not can't quite place it.
do not
It's like,
expect you
have-
to remember me, but
Have we
I
met?
am Grixel.
Oh yes, the friend of. Oh, and then she's suddenly Vesh, right?
Yes. Just heard. I was looking to meet. Curious
Yes, that
what
might
happened.
be more difficult. What happened? Well, if I knew, perhaps the situation would be a lot easier.
And no, he was
Just as a bit
investigating.
absent-mindedly to the seat.
Yeah, okay, as I said, the Blood Moon ruins or something. What was it called?
Did you say this to her, sorry, or are you saying Crixel will remember?
If I can't really remember, I think.
I
Crixel
mean, you're
would
pretty
do something.
close, so I think it's realistic. Crixel maybe remembers this much, later.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's like, you did listen to him. That would be right. The last time we lost contact, he was still in his work trying to find the Temple of the Ravenous.
Yes.
We
Told me
have.
too dangerous for us. Was confident. He went alone.
Was
Another
always a
percent.
confident individual, that is true. But perhaps this time he bit off slightly more than he could chew. We are not sure what has happened, but at least we have ways of communicating with each other in emergencies. We have most agents, at least of his level, equipped with magic items, and able to send some sort of message back if it is needed. And if they do not check in every so often, we only fear the worst. He missed his last 2 check-in dates.
And how long
We
is
have
that?
sent. In his current state, due to the danger of the mission, they were weekly. Normally, it's not quite so often. We have sent magic in response and got to know. We sent messages and they got no response. They shouldn't say it once twice. We sent messages back and got no response. As of now, we are fearing the worst, but I do not have enough agents at my disposal in order to send some sort of rescue mission that I admit is looking quite unlikely to succeed. But I worked with him for a long time and did not wish to simply give up so quickly, so using my own money, sponsoring another party to go out there.
Yes, would like for him to live.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Is his location secret? Last known?
Last time he sent us an update, he was in the uplands, searching out the temple we believe to be located somewhere in that area. He had discovered previous ruins of similar architecture. But she kind of shakes her head. The mapping of that area is bleak, and we do not know it much more than kind of thinks maybe a 30-mile radius somewhere in that area. It is very vague, I'm afraid. Hence why it is difficult to put together any party who are willing to find it.
When she does the uplands, that's like the region nearby?
Yeah, that's also the mountainous region to the east.
Yeah.
Right where we want to go.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, this is Brian Thorne's...
It's crazy, this is actually a
entrance.
coincidence for me. When I mentioned this fucking temple years ago, I didn't even know where it was on the map. Okay, anyway, yes, she says,
Johnny.
we have a somewhat more accurate map of the area than maybe you have, I imagine, but even then we do not know it to any level of real accuracy.
Have not drawn yet of the mountains. Johnny, you think you can help?
Potentially, I guess. Wait. To draw a map? What?
No, to find for more Vesh.
Oh yeah, of course. Not exactly sure how.
Well, I could at least
sure.
give some sort of
But
starting
you know
point.
where he is. Well, yeah. Well,
I know that in his travels in the uplands, one of the sources he used it to find out more were the Mbeke dwarves. They have some. And look, dwarves are showing off right after you mentioned them. They are a group of dwarves who are more common among the uplands. They have a. Well, Duma has it, and Vetch said he had seen it, so I imagine that's somewhat true. They
Where?
have a sky citadel in the uplands, which he has.
nice. That sounds fancy.
Indeed, yes. And I believe Vetch had been there and at least spoken more about the areas around the mountains. I don't know if they gave him a clear goal, but at least that would probably be my suggestion for a starting point of a search.
Yes, we have business in the mountains, so we will try and find out more. Kind of like poke my head and be like, you have a map. Do you have copies or just the one?
We can at least make a copy if you believe it will help you, but I admit it is not too accurate. You can try. It at least marks on where Vesh said he met the dwarves. And that's somewhere to start and a couple of dangers in the area.
Yes, should help. No time to waste.
So I will. Well, follow me. I suppose there's really no time to waste. And she kind of gets up, kind of like, ladies and gentlemen, follow me. And she like leads you to like to a lower level in the ship where there's a big room. It's kind of like a library, and like in one of the walls, like for Quicksilver, like somebody who's like keen a little bit in map making everything. Like the wall is like filled with old parchment and stuff, like wrapped up scrolls. There's like one or like kind of framed, like a bigger one of like the whole sort of Shackles and like area of this part of the world, which is not like much more detailed than the one you have, because it's on display, so obviously it's probably not the best one they have, but it's still at least more intricate than what you normally see. And you see she goes and gets to like a drawer, so it's like you imagine it's almost like not being categorized yet, probably quite recently made, or at least updated, or still in progress. I'm afraid it's too impossible. I can't type a map, the off chance you come in, so I don't know how to give you.
Yes,
but
I have one.
Yeah, clearly she gives you one. It does lay out, and she kind of, there is parchment here with paper and stuff for you to make like a copy quite easily. If you says, if you think you're, a lot of it isn't precisely scale anyway. It seems a lot of it is kind of been for like communication back from Vesh while he's like actually out on the field, and so it's kind of had to be like not a first-hand approval or something, but at least kind of marks like some paths you can like a rough kind of route he took to get into the mountains to begin with. A couple of sites he'd seen. I will make maybe a very brief thing for next session, but this one I can say that there's like a couple of like areas of interest that at least you might be curious about is it has, you know, this kind of area where he kind of made up to first get to the mountains. He's kind of marked on this peak known as Mount Crowder, you know, just which, you know, he says he found out, and he actually found that it was like a sacred site of a particular god. There's a couple of notes from Vesh about, like, you know, some discussions he had with the worshippers in that region. There's another bit about this valley called the Stormwell Valley, which he kind of marks off that he's heard some strange stories about. Actually, about this thing about this kind of passageway to the plane of air is what the rumors say in the stories, but he said he hasn't explored it himself, but he kind of wrote it back as like another mission that the Pathfinders could be interested in. There's this other place called the Valley of Ghosts, which he says he did, which he also marked on. So there's a couple of these kind of places of interest in the uplands, which kind of scattered about, and, you know, on the map they aren't in like a huge amount of details. But the bit that is maybe most interesting is there's this place marked on where you, at one of like kind of the very, you know, rough kind of like largest peaks, which he's marked with the name Cloud Spire. And, you know, Stella Fane explains that this is where he says he found the Sky Citadel, the Quebec Mbeki dwarves. And I will like kind of say how this word is used.
And it wasn't known before that the citadel was there, or?
There were rumors about it. There's people about those in the know, but there hadn't been like kind of it like tied to a specific place.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if there's not too many details, it shouldn't take too long, right, to make copies.
Yeah, exactly, right? You're not like actually mapping up like the grid level, right, to be like this equals 1 mile. You're kind of doing very much more buff, like this is for range from like 10 to 30, this is range of 50 to 100, etc, etc. So it's not like you could find an exact place, but it's more like you get told about these sites and these locations, which you could hope could like help you guide a trip through there.
Yeah,
hopefully it still takes like 15, 20, 30 minutes or something like that, right? If you're like taking a little bit of time, it starts like explaining a bit about it. And she's like, yes, this area of the world, the Pathfinders, I mean, not sure how much you know about us, but based in Absalom, and it still is the case that most of our work is in that region. This part of the world, I think, is actually much more interesting and has way more mysteries to be explored, but unfortunately its locale makes such work difficult, and getting men or women able to do so even trickier. If you were successful in this, I would certainly recommend you at least give a thought to joining such an organization that allows such interesting expeditions.
But recruiting process harder.
He shrugs. There are those. The official process is indeed difficult. Becoming a Pathfinder normally requires a training in the academy in Absalom, but we have a special way in, I suppose you could say, for those who find themselves accomplishing extraordinary deeds. We normally call them field commissions. If an adventurer is, able to attract the attention of the Senvert, which is how they call, the kind of organ people, it's rare, but such people can only bypass training confirmation and promote it directly to the rank of field operative. Normally, this also requires quite a glowing recommendation from a captain, but if you succeed in that, I at least believe I can be convinced to give at least a somewhat glowing reference.
Intriguing. Yes, we'll keep it in mind. Mountains not our expertise. Hard to get a ship there, but...
No, indeed, I wouldn't recommend...
No, sea there. Yeah.
Lost our last
true,
ship.
but
Mountains.
if it makes you feel better, she kind of looks at you like, to kind of indine. It's like, it's all very cloudy, and clouds are mainly made of water, correct?
It is not nearly the same, bro.
A shame. Better than desert, at least, I'm sure.
Can surf.
Close, very close to each other.
Very close
to each other. Yeah.
Well, I guess it would take an Undyne to know. Well, I will hope that she kind of says you believe you will then at least attempt this task.
I do.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Breathe a sigh of relief as Johnny agrees.
Excellent, then. I'm sure if you play your cards right, we will all have a jolly meeting with Vesh as soon as possible.
I'm sure. I'll kind of like wave if Brian, the bookkeeper, is here in the library. I'll like wing at him.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, he kind of gives you a wink. It's been a while. Yes, you head out, and I guess eventually you meet up with the others, maybe even back in your ship. But this take a while, and they you weren't really sure it's a bit of a needle in a haystack trying to like actually find them in their search of like the inns and
Yeah, while we're trying to reconvene, I'll say to Johnny like to be offered for a Pathfinder. What we talked about might be.
That's huge, bro.
Didn't think it could happen, but would take more time still. Searching and dangerous. Seems no.
Nah, dangerous is fine, bro. Taking time is more annoying, especially if it's not in the water.
Yes, we delayed the
We
circus.
can manage, right?
Delayed the circus already, and I
Can't
don't know
delay
how
the
long.
Circus more if we're gonna do. We should do this. Go to the circus. I mean,
I'm crossing it off next time. By the way, just warning you. I'm crossing it off next time.
You said yes to this and joined me in hunts. I will put in my best word with the others. Circus first. Promise.
Yeah. We've got a set plan. Right. Circus, and then we find more fish. It's gotta be easy to find it, right?
Find one guy.
How hard
Shouldn't
can
take-
it be?
More than a few days.
Okay, yeah, and then would you actually try to like look through it? What's it called? Like the town to find them, or would you almost just wait for them at the ship? It's like you don't really know, I guess, where they're looking at, where they would be in these.
Just go back to the ship.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
like in the neighboring area.
Yeah, exactly.
You just gotta like
have
walk
some
about,
drink,
like
have some fried fish,
look around, see if there are any obvious places.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But no, we'll say eventually when you already talked about Nathan out here, right, like after discovering the thing about heading back to the ship, right, to extend the docking. Well, you were planning to go and find Rin before she gets here. So, you head back to the ship after a couple of hours and hours, like sometime in like about 4 p.m. or something. And yeah, you kind of run into, I guess, Crixel and Johnny, kind of like, just moseying around, moseying, whatever the word is.
Moseying.
Around,
Moseying
on around the area near to the ship. And you kind of run into each other.
By the way, about the archetypes, right?
Hmm?
If I get the archetype, I can just like fill in
You can fill up
the
all your feats up to that point, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so we really should get that going.
Yeah, otherwise it's too like it punishes even more if you can't like fill in, right? So it's like you need to have the catch up mechanic, I think, of filling it in. But yeah, you kind of meet all the with each other.
So
Yeah, we'll inform them, that dire news. The Pathfinder that got lost, is Morvesh in search of the temple.
that annoying dandy, right?
Yes, the one that knocked out Altair like it was nothing.
Didn't strike me as
Yeah, he did
dandy.
beat my ass pretty hard
That's back in session 5, so early.
so long ago. I was with a child. Vesh.
And now he needs our help.
I mean, that's not necessarily true, right? He doesn't necessarily need our help. He's just
Maybe not.
other people think he might need it.
He got out.
Doesn't-
Yes, he's potentially just I don't know, still on a
You
mission.
will play the early
Doesn't
game
sense
champ,
message.
just beat to level 1.
Yeah, he was, the Trinity where he got a lucky crit at level 1. And
That's it, yeah.
Now you're all skilled up.
Yep.
As a
I'm a full build Aphelios.
Twitch, wow, that's been rude, but
I was trying to find a late game character to use stealth and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Rude.
That's
Rude.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a problem. Assassin types in
So-
general, like,
Zed, I like Zed. It's a Zed,
Yeah.
scaled up Zed.
sure.
Yeah, sure.
But Zed's strongest in the mid game, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever fucking nerds.
Which is I can tell it makes sense because we're in the mid game. We're
Yo,
level
my
9.
Twitch fits perfectly. At least fucking Zed uses like daggers and shit. Like,
Yeah.
He's a shurikens.
Was he? Like, what about when he
He
stabbed
uses
him?
the bladey.
Circus is one
Whatever the
thing, but
fuck
he
they
uses
are.
the stabby things for the rest of the abilities. Come on,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacko.
What? No,
Is
he
it
uses
just-
shurikens.
No, is this
What?
Q throwing shurikens? Is this
Yeah,
Q
Q is
Yeah.
throwing shurikens, but the rest
You
of the
just use
stuff
the
short
stabs you with the
part of the
blade.
Well, wait, when he does like the W, he spins. That's like that is E. I forget. That's not shurikens.
Yes.
Oh, wait,
No,
maybe
That's not
maybe he
shurikens.
does have
He,
like
he has
normal-
blades on his hands, like, you know.
Yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just gender bent Akali. It's fine.
Harley.
Ah, sure. You don't dash
Oh,
around
yeah,
as much.
they're
though.
definitely big blades in his object.
Haven't made a
Yeah,
smoke
I'm
screen
super
yet.
fast.
What are you talking
Never
about, Jacko?
supposed
He
to.
doesn't have blades. He has so many blades.
Yeah.
He's national stream.
Alright, anyway.
right.
Definitely.
Seems,
Akali got to work. Okay. Let's.
okay, so Quicksilver, based on your history with the Pathfinders, I mean, we all know how much they want to become one. I'd imagine you accepted the quest on the spot.
They
We have a
offered.
plan.
They offered for
They did, though,
recruitment.
yeah, they did.
I couldn't resist.
Can
Okay.
confirm. Can confirm. Wasn't possible.
Okay, so we didn't
But
find any trace of our woman.
Ah.
So I'd imagine we have some time.
Well, you know, I have a suggestion. You know, you guys didn't find her. You know, maybe we can, deal with two things at the same time, bros. What if, what if she's an avid goer of the circus, and we go to the circus to deal with their problem, and maybe she'll be there.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'm just one other thing that has,
But
it has been pretty obvious on our current mission that we did that
What's
my
wrong?
spelling skills are a bit rusty. So
to kind of like absolutely nodding along.
yeah, I mean, there were some strange decisions made at certain points. I'll give you that.
For reference, check the YouTube shorts. Just uploaded a new one.
You have? Look at that. It is part
Might
3. Oh,
it might be prudent for us to maybe
no.
do some sailing. I'd imagine the sailing skills might come in handy later on.
It's true. That's true. I'll
Think-
give you that. I mean, they
You have
need
done
someone to
Fine
find.
as captain, Nate, but more dangerous waters could use more training.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if we don't have time right now, do we?
You will make it.
If we try to visit the circus and then also the Pathfinder. Search for the
I
last
see no
Pathfinder.
reason why we shouldn't have time for everything.
Yes.
Yeah, we do them basically at the same time.
Hmm. Yeah, we keep
Kind
trying.
of, Oh, yeah.
I would say we have a week
What was he-
at least, no?
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically the same thing twice, right? Like the circus is
Yeah.
also they're looking for the acrobat and hoping someone can fill in. So it's
Yeah, but the circus is currently at Hascott Bay, which is 2 days sailing. So,
even better idea. We take
by the
we
way-
take that person who wants the tour. Take him with us. We
the
sail him
circus.
on a scenic route to Hascott Bay.
yeah. By the way,
Even better.
where is the Hascott Bay? Is it
No idea.
close to the mountains that we?
Oh, that would
go.
that would feel too perfect.
It is on the ocean, so it isn't, like that significantly close. No, it's one of the islands. You actually put it on the map, believe it or not. If you look at the landing page, I
Oh
checked.
shit, it is there. Look at
I
that.
can't believe I did that. Thank you,
Spain.
past me. I could not remember at all where I wanted Escort Bay to be, but apparently I put it up there.
Asshole Harbor.
Oh no.
So
Yeah, you're
anyway,
not
we-
sure
we-
how
we take
easy
it-
it would be to do a scenic tour to Escort Bay. I mean,
Well,
could
you know,
do
it's easy thing. We can just go up the coast here, around this island, Hell Harbor, and then we kind of go between the little islands at Hascott Bay, and then just land them. You know, like West
Yeah.
Ruler. You know, like this way, and then
Yeah, I mean-
this way, and then like this. Here.
What are the big tourist attractions here in the Shackles?
It's not. It's.
Yes.
I mean, it's a
No,
good
we
question. You
can
haven't
make it
been
up.
in the Shackles for many a year, so it's a little difficult to say. You know, for you.
Is anyone good at making stories up about fake touristy attractions?
Lying? No.
Illusion
Bad
magic?
lie.
Yeah, it really depends like
Wow.
how far you want to say like the big tourist attractions. Like there's some, for instance, one thing which is quite a big tourist attraction is one of the islands kind of up here, like a little bit further in the water, has like a very big volcano on it, and it's known as a smoker, and like the kind of it's almost like in a constant form of eruption, so the water around almost like in this cool sort of like boiling foam. It's quite like a crazy
that
sight to
sounds
see.
cool.
That's very
And
cool.
Not too far away from Hascott Bay.
Not too far away. Because, you know, there's like a few different things like this, but like, you know, of course, like if you want to see like the most of the sites, it also depends like the person how this game particularly they wanted to see, of course. But a lot of like also interesting sites, I'm afraid, are like, you know, in also like the islands to the west. Where we see it. But you know, I mean,
Like
it
a
depends what
Pathfinder.
you
Size
want
in Hell
with.
Harbor, right? Like we sail around Hell Harbor. This is like a giant tower ruins and stuff. And the
Yeah, that's
arch,
like
the
that. I think
devil's
that's like a
arch,
day inland travel. Well, it's not that near the
Yeah.
coast, but you could maybe
okay.
see. You know, if you give them the spyglass and
Yeah.
make them go to the crow's nest, they might better see it. But yeah, if you think you could convince them, of course, like, you know, it's up to, you know, it really depends, right? Like how convinced you could be. If you should make the person believe it's a very good talk, then maybe you'll get over it.
I guess that's the problem.
Good.
I mean, we would need to meet this person, I'd imagine, first and figure out what they want.
Yeah, that's
Pathfinders
true.
have a big library. Maybe you can check, see if they know locations.
I mean,
That's
we
a
probably
good
need
idea, bro.
to visit that tourist office or whatever. Something like that exists in this time and space.
A tourist.
I feel that might not be a thing. I don't know.
Ian?
Say again. What were you saying?
I'm looking for a tourist office. Is there a thing like that?
You're looking for a tourist office. Holy shit! Probably not quite in that same way. A tourist office. No, but there are, you know, probably tourist office. What would be the closest thing to what you mean by a tourist office? Like, you know, there is a thing, you know, where it is a, you know, a city which is, you know, known to, you know, it's like kind of a different place. Like if you're on the Caribbean, of course, where you get like, you know, some kind of organizations that offer similar different
Yeah,
things.
there's like privatized tour guides, right? Maybe you can
Exactly.
take a brochure
So that
of
you
them.
there's like, you know, you're not sure how you could probably pose to be like an interested customer and go to like a tour guide office and ask what are the good sites to see in the area. You know, it isn't really like public information, but you could do a little bit of like scouting the competition and see that.
They don't have like an ad or like a poster of like go see the shark reefs and dive from the
Okay.
waterfalls.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so you know you're here, but maybe you want to like, you know, see if you can find anything like that, like by like looking around, you know, a bit of like Hell Harbor. Yeah, so there is a few things like that. Yeah, so shark reefs. There's like a nice bright reef system that has like nice snorkeling, which is off the coast of actually the Hack's Tooth, like one of the islands over here. They say there's very nice snorkeling, like in this little bit. There's like a good kind of cove, an area like that where there's nice waters and very clear oceans that you can see.
Okay.
There's obviously there's another poster about like, you know, the volcano to the north. There's something else about this kind of, you know, very big sort of like whirlpool that exists. what's it called, kind of in this area of water, where it's like no one's exactly sure what causes it, which is down actually. It's kind of like very treacherous because a lot of people when they go to Shenshu Bay actually can get caught in it. Because it is like it's not very big, so it's not very much on the map. It's just like something which is a little bit of an unexplained phenomenon. But obviously, people that's close to Port Peril, often like people might go there, and especially like you often get like different guys kind of competing about how close they can get you. That's like without going in, that's kind of thing. And that's also similar enough. That's also very
Sounds like a
similar
sailing
with.
track, right?
That's also very similar with like the
Yeah.
smoker, where people want to get as close to the volcano as they can without seeing it.
Sorry, which island did you say the volcano was?
The volcano is I mean this map isn't like detailed, but it's like up
Close.
north, kind of like on the
Okay.
on the west coast of this one.
I mean, like I'm seeing a route like this this kind of thing. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
One other thing, which is something people go, this is like One Piece where nothing makes sense. Is an island which is like covered in ice. No one knows why. Maybe some ice elementals or some shit like that in there. And occasionally people go there. They obviously it's very weird. Every so often you will know if a ship is sending out for them. But like all the people wearing like packing like big jackets and like furs and stuff ready for the expedition. But that is known. It's actually known as what's it called? What's the name of this thing? Linormia, after the land of the Linorms in the north. The very cold area. So they call Linormia. It's kind of owed to that. That is, maybe because it's colder in the north. That is, one of the islands kind of like up here in this bay. It's like the one that has like the really long thing coming off it, like the kind of like little things here, and these like all kind of covered in ice. That's a little bit further out the way. That's like quite a big expedition.
Yeah, that's quite a bit out of the way.
I don't know.
And then it is
Rush
kind of
hours.
thing in the Shackles where the further out you get, the crazier the fucking places are. So like look at the place all over here. There's a fucking like castle on a boat on a fish. Look at that shit, crazy. It's a big old side.
I mean, and so much time do we have, right? I mean, we said we had to have like a week, which is not ideal. Because I imagine 2 days to Heskett Bay, and then I'd imagine we'll spend like a day at least dealing with the problem. There, right?
Mhm.
So it's
Yes.
2 days back, so it's like at least 5 days if we don't go anywhere else. And if we only have a week, then it's kind of hard to do anything else.
Week is a guess.
It was kind of tight, yeah.
So the
Yeah,
math-
it's very hard to have an accurate sense of like how long she could be, right?
Yeah.
Like you're
Am
saying
I
a week, but of
Yeah.
course, maybe it's like you
Back
have no
with
idea
everyone
what's
yet?
gonna be. Yeah, so yes, you are. So yeah,
Okay.
you and
Yeah, you're here.
Sweet. I mean, the most prudent thing would be to start heading towards the mountains, see if maybe we can help Vesh find him, and then meet Bryn.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Circus.
Hard to juggle.
I get it.
Hard to juggle.
Not against joining the circus, but I think these other two things are a little more pressing.
True. Would not want
I mean, that
more
one's
Vesh to
also
die
look-
because of us. But
I'm gonna say
Johnny.
I have faith in Morvesh. I think he will be fine. Not if we wait a month, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows where he is, what he's doing? But I think he's not
And-
that.
and
the
great a
also
danger.
doesn't seem
It's
like something he would
Morvesh.
do to miss what they said. You said, or they told you it was what 2 check-ins because I wasn't there technically for that. That part of it.
yes,
Although-
2 weeks.
After we deal with the leader, I don't think that after that we have any pressing concerns. So
Only
Yeah.
ancient empire looking to take over all our lands.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of priority number 1. True.
I would not want more Vesh to die because we did not act, but in my opinion, Johnny been with us entire time, never complained, never wanted something. for himself.
It's just not that
now.
important. This is
But
just an interesting.
yes,
situation.
I think we should. think it is important.
So, also, sorry, which way is Morvesh, supposedly? Which mountains? Which way?
These kind of ones to the west, you kind of, or the east, sorry, you see on this map
East.
there.
This way.
You kind of see they're also kind of like hidden underneath like this big compass, like this
Yeah,
also the
okay,
area is
okay,
kind of
okay.
uplands, yeah.
Okay, so that's a trek inland. So
Guys,
that's another.
guys, did you learn for how long has he been missing?
Did we?
Missed 2.
He's missed 2
Oh,
weeks worth of
so-
check-ins.
2 weeks. So
So potentially anywhere from 2 to like 30 weeks.
I mean, if he's in trouble,
Does not mean he's in trouble. Maybe magic doesn't work.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying if he's been gone for 3 weeks,
Hmm.
a few days, more or less. How much will it change?
I mean, that's just what I've been saying. You know, I'm sure he's still fine. Ish.
But would the circus still not be there in that
Circus
same
might-
time?
See, I have a feeling the circus might be leaving soon. There's a sixth sense about it.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll you know, tell you what, I'll roll a D2 every time you say no to it.
Let's try. I like those odds.
D2 ain't bad.
Sure.
So, I mean, surely we have time for one thing before we leave for the mountains, right?
You know, we should at least try and find and talk to the guy who wants to do the tour.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, I
It's
think we,
much-
to your point, we have a total of one, maybe one thing before we need to be on the road. So if we wanted to be the whirlwind tour, I think we're choosing that over the circus, or we're choosing the circus over this other.
Yeah, maybe we don't need to talk to the guy.
I'm fine with the circus also, but I think that the tour might be.
The tour does
Right,
feel like
right.
it will be long, potentially.
Mhm.
Yeah, agreed.
Again, we can always just take him with us. Longer.
By force, this is a fucking tour, mate. Okay.
To the mountains already.
For the tour ends, yeah.
And then he specifically wants or they want to specifically go to all the different islands. Probably not inland towards a old cursed temple to find an older Pathfinder, right?
Yeah,
Or-
that's probably true, though.
And I don't think we'd want him to be there in case the diplomacy fails and an accident needs to occur with Bryn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the circus and then to the islands. I mean,
Okay.
not the islands, the mountains.
I do think time's of the essence, so I say we leave immediately for the circus then.
Okay. before
Agreed.
they leave.
But I also want to put trading in a shipwright. So Nate, if a cruise is no longer an option, perhaps we can make a deal for you to train there at the harbor. Find someone who can teach.
Mm. Hmm.
Many sailors
I
around
guess
here.
that's possible, right? No?
Maybe for after,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
Sails for
that's
Hasket
what
Bay!
Okay, so immediately you're like, yeah, it's about 4 p.m. You have a couple
Yeah.
hours of daylight left, and you can stay all night. You know you've done it before in worse conditions.
Mhm.
So you can at least get a few hours so maybe
Cool.
done before the day. So I'll say maybe this counts like, so like if you set off now, it's like 2 different hours. You arrive at like the evening on the other day instead of the morning of it.
grab Cooper out of the inn.
Cooper's like, oh, what? Put the call already? What?
Leaving.
Plans.
Plans.
What's the plan? Where are we heading? What's the emergency?
We are
Traveling
going to
to
the
the
circus.
The entire group says it.
He's like,
It's your utmost
Why?
importance.
Why not?
Johnny's
saw-
dying wish, minus the dying part.
yeah, I guess it's fine. It's Sure. Circus.
We'll do something. We'll do something which you might consider more urgent afterwards.
I see it. Oh, it's like a break after what we just went through.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We've earned
great.
the
I can't wait. I can't wait. That's a good idea, actually. It's always good to have some relaxation.
Murder
Exactly.
some clowns.
But wait, sorry, what's the plan, the circus?
No. Find clown murderer, maybe.
A murderer who is a clown, or a clown?
No, not a clown.
Could be.
An acrobat.
Could
An acrobat has gone missing. They want us to find him, and
Don't know.
maybe
exactly clowns.
Speaking of, are you
Replacement.
planning to fill in as the post would suggest?
at least try out. See these my skills if they are up to par.
Are those more out of game acrobatics or athletics? I would assume acrobatics.
I am good at both.
Whoa!
I mean,
Look at this
often
fancy
it's called
pants over
acrobat,
here.
right? So surely it's acrobat.
Again, you would assume that until for some reason they decide not to do it. And they're like, nah, it's athletics, bro.
Johnny is expert in both acrobatics and athletics.
You're an expert in both acrobatics and athletics.
Why
Get
do
on my
you-
level.
Any-
Master in
any useful
acrobatics,
skills.
expert in athletics. Yeah.
Look, man, I am master
But
in
you
medicine.
have to be very
and I
picky.
am
I'm just
acrobatic and
like
athletics.
throwing shit out
Hey.
because
But the acrobat archetype is all about acrobatics, right?
Sure.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've looked at it a while ago.
It's
Not
Yeah.
recently.
It's all about it. Must be.
Shouldn't it
Um,
be putting points in nature and stuff like that? Medicine.
Yeah, I'll be honest,
With,
it's- because a lot of you have those.
President.
That's like the one set of skills that I've not done. So I have like outside of occultism. I don't have any of those ones that are typically used to like recall knowledge on
Yeah.
creatures.
Every party
I
double
haven't
fuck
trained
into it. I don't
in
get
those
it.
two.
Every party double fuck. True.
I'm an expert crafter. I've got plus.
I don't remember the last time I saw somebody take like an int class at a primary class. It fucking never happens.
True.
I'm probably the best just because I'm the rogue. Yeah, I have 3 things that I'm a master in, 2 that I'm expert in.
I just think it's so. I hate role playing someone smarter than me.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's so much effort.
See, it's just that's hard for me, you know. It's just
Yeah,
to find
it's tough, it's tough, yeah. What you do is you do an insane smart person, so it doesn't make sense. Like
exactly.
Oh, you
That's
You
like,
do the
oh,
Walter
you're so
Bishop.
far beyond that.
so far beyond,
No, no,
you think
yeah,
that's
no.
stupid, right? Yeah.
Again, just do the Walter Bishop if you've seen Fringe, and if you haven't, you should watch it.
You
It's
just
one of my favorite shows.
You just don't put points in wisdom, right? You go the opposite. Just like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Wisdom.
book smart,
8 wisdom, but
and it just happens to be in like a
20th?
theoretical physicist way that no one else would understand on this planet. So you just look like you're
Ask
insane.
DM everything, and then you regenerate that exactly.
But you 2 days travel, surely no shot for can only a 19 or 20.
Man,
Can we get the roll from Jacko?
man, that's
Sure.
why I love.
Jacko never rolls
Disco
20, so we'll be fine.
You know, no
Elysium.
problem.
I
No problem.
love Disco Elysium because you can have like you put skills in weird stuff, and
Yeah.
you can be like super dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, like Fallout, where you can go full.
Yeah.
digital.
That is something that I haven't played too. I mean, I guess I've played a few, right? But like really dumb characters, like int
I have
wisdom
an
8 or
8
less.
int.
I have learned to quite enjoy playing low end.
And I think part of that is because like so many nowadays are like everything starts at 10, and so
But I
unless you
think-
take like
I
a
think
natural
more
flaw,
Yeah.
Low int is really
Oh,
easy
damage.
because low int is you don't know stuff, and that's like an easy
Right.
RP. I feel like
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
low
I just
wisdom
feel
is
like
really
I don't
hard.
know the thing that I know.
Yeah, low wisdom is really hard. I think. Because, I think that's harder.
I
I
think
think
it
low int
can
is super
be.
easy because you just don't
The
know. it.
wisdom is just throwing out everything you want to do and just go
Yeah,
for that.
or again, like, wisdom to me, it's like it's also not picking up on things, right? Because wisdom is tied to
Yeah, I
perception.
think that's
and
hard,
other
but I feel
things.
so as a player, it's hard for my character to like completely ignore something. I don't know, it was frustrating.
Oh yeah, it's the same way though. Like XYZ, you just pretend you don't.
Yeah,
It's
but I
like you
always
notice
do that.
XYZ, you just pretend you don't,
Yeah, I guess so.
and so you just plow forward into dumb decision after
But I feel
dumb
like most of the time when you
decision.
know something in 2E, it's like you have to roll and the DM has to tell you it anyway. Like I just don't bother doing that stage.
That's fairly true. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, I can assume you don't know. So.
Yeah. that or Jekko, just play a Slumdog Millionaire character.
Oh wow.
I
Well,
mean,
it
that,
is like-
Just
it's a
happens to
high
know
int, but just-
everything, like,
Just knows everything because of like this crazy life that they've
Man, it's
lived.
been a long time. Maybe we watched some of Millionaire.
It's a great film.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
You've never watched it? It's good.
That's good.
I've seen
Best Picture, right?
clips from it, but like,
It won Best Picture. I didn't know that.
Plus four.
think so.
maybe.
I watched it in school
I thought it was
actually.
Best Picture.
I think.
It won 8 Academy. What the fuck?
Yeah. Like
I mean,
it
yeah, it was
took
big.
the Emmys by
It was
storm.
massive.
I didn't realize. That was good.
That was good old Dev Patel.
Right.
Before he was super famous.
When you said
Should be more
about
famous.
having terrible perception, right? I had
Mm.
just this in like a day ago or two in Disco Elysium. Basically, the character wants to smoke, and there's a guy smoking a cigarette, right? You're talking to that guy, and then you're like, "Oh, can you give me a cigarette?" Right? You look like a guy who would have cigarettes, and the guy says, "No, I don't have any. I don't smoke." And and I failed a perception roll. I was like,
And
"Oh,"
he's actually smoking.
and says, "Yeah, there is nothing wrong with his statement." something along those lines.
I've never even heard of Disco Elysium. I'm just like googling it. It's like
Never?
Disco Elysium's a pretty, particularly with the most recent, like the voice acting stuff that they added, right?
Yeah.
Where all the characters are voice acted now, I think, right?
Yeah.
So you
Pretty
know so
awesome.
much stuff about games.
It's huge.
Shit that I never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
But, because,
I've been
I'm
meaning to
gamer,
play
bro.
it for so long. I'm just bad at starting games.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet I put in like my 400th hour into like a $10 game the other day.
What game?
yeah.
Tiny Rogues.
Uh,
I mean, it has some
Might be
I
like that.
recommend it.
some
It's awesome.
things, you know, because you can be super deranged.
Yeah.
Because if
I do love being
Exactly.
super deranged.
I mean, the thing is, if you have, there's like 24 skills, I think, and if your level in the skill is really low, you're kind of useless. Like, I mean, perception is low or whatever, logic, you don't know shit, right? You can, but if your skill is really high, you can get like deranged options, right? For example, like your logic skill might try to find patterns in where there aren't any patterns. You'll get like additional options or whatever.
Yeah.
If you
It's
have
like the thing that they started to do in what Fallout 3 and New Vegas, or it's like where if you have a certain threshold of a skill, then like you get an option that didn't present itself otherwise. Like, oh, I can use my medicine check on this thing that it's only can use it because my medicine is so high. Which is something I really enjoy about
Yeah.
games is when
Yeah,
they
it
do
sounds
those
like
kind of
a-
things. It's very nice.
And if you have like, there's a half-light skill, which is like, you know, the primal rage, you know, the survival instinct, and you have it really high. Basically, anytime someone is like talking weird to you, you're just beat that guy up, threaten, you know. It's super interesting. Oh yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, but it sounds like Disco Elysium we need to play. Okay, yes, you set out sailing. Luckily, it is a quiet road down or path, ocean. Not really a road. That's a bad way to put it. But yeah, in the afternoon on the 26th of Calistril, you arrive, to this little kind of nice bay area. It seems like, as you approach, you see there are quite a few kind of boats also moored to this fairly large dock. And you can see already, not too far, like one of the boats is like quite a bit bigger than the others. Significantly bigger than yours. Maybe a similar size to the one of the Pathfinders. But it seems, unfortunately, unlike your pleas, this isn't actually where, Circus is the boat itself, as you can already see inland. Like, you see, like, the kind of town proper. And then, set out a bit different, like, also, like, the background near the water is this very large sort of circus tent. Like what you always see in a classic circus atmosphere.
It's weird. It's like a building made out of cloth.
Yeah.
It's super weird. Like, you have seen tents
Like,
before.
Point to
It's just-
the seeing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Never seen one before. It's like an
I'm
igloo,
pretty
but
sure
not made out of
your
ice.
whole people basically stay in one.
No. We live in
That
wood
big of
buildings
a
like respectable
level,
civilians.
you know?
Yeah, it's a pretty big tent. It's a pretty damn big
Yeah,
tent.
yeah.
Maybe like we're talking like I don't know how big. It's maybe like 120, 150 feet across, something like that. Big tent, big tent.
Is
Yes, but it looks like
a
probably the
fancy
show is
colours?
already starting. It's actually as you like, taking the doctor, it's evenings, probably around the time now. It's about like, it's 6 p.m. or something, about the time that the evening show begins. As you like dock up the boat, people like like you blah 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 do that stuff. This one is actually doesn't cost any money to dock up. They assume for business or trade or something. So it's kind of part of the normal standard. But you see that there are people like in the harbour, like already starting to walk over to the tent, which maybe like a few hundred meters away from like the dockyard area, like a more quiet part of the town. The city itself or the bay itself is probably not as huge as maybe like 2,000 or 3,000, something like that size. So like definitely a decent chunk, but not like a bustling city or anything like that. Yeah. What are you?
Thank you for joining us, Diggly.
Let's go.
Johnny's like, let's go, circus, yeah,
Oh, it's
circus.
happening. Let's go.
Skipping over towards the
Let's
entrance.
see how this looks.
Okay, yeah, so you like run on it, you.
Animals.
What do you have?
That'd be nice.
What a question.
Special. Exotic.
Maybe dinosaurs. Heard of them.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yes, so you go on out to the. You follow like the crowd of bustling people who are going over there. And yes, you walk over and this large tent, kind of red. And there's like this person outside the tent, which is like taking people's like money, handing them tickets, and like the booming voice like welcome all to the wonderful. Shit, did I have a name? 1 sec, I did have a name. The Carnival of Dreams, yes, that they call it that. The Carnival of Dreams, where your wonderful dreams and imaginary stories, beautiful acrobats, majestic animals, sword swallowers, flame eaters, we have them all at the Carnival of Dreams! And it's like the crowd's like, yeah, Carnival of Dreams, woo, woo. And as you're going in, and when you get to the front and they're like, yes, tickets, he kind of looks you over. You're pretty like well-to-do adventurous. He's like, 5 silver seat. Thank you very much.
Sorry, it was 5? 5 silver?
Yes, 5 silver seat.
Pay. I'll pay for everyone. Pay for everyone. Just
Pay for everyone. He's like, excellent, a man of good taste. Go right in, my good sir. That's you. I think did I have a little bit of art? I think I had like a little bit of art. It wasn't my favorite art, but it's like something.
I thought we'll be helping.
Just
out.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we obviously have to go there after the show. We can't talk with anyone as the show is happening.
Yeah, it's a very important show. Just here, like,
I guess.
an idea. So the tent is like made of like big, almost like sails. It looks like is like making like the kind of top and everything. So it definitely does have like a nautical theme, to it. It's like it's like bits of rigging and rope holding it up. As you like step inside, you kind of find like go to like find a seat. You see that what's it called? They have like a big sort of mast of a ship is like kind of the central part, which is like holding up the sails in the middle. So it certainly has. And then, sorry, I was wrong. There's actually 2 masts, like at different ends, like kind of holding up the 2 sides, and they have like the kind of rope like between them and everything, almost looking also probably like what an acrobat might do, like tightrope walking or like dance off or stuff like that. But it's like tied up to the masts up there. And as you get in, I have like I have some
could be good at this as well.
There's like some sort of map which here. Just to give you like a rough idea of like the size and stuff. There's like a tent like this, with like all these kind of like stands up there, and now the townspeople filling in. There's like 2 mats in the center with with like these rope between it and like these lights kind of hanging up and everything. And yes, everyone is like kind of is like bustling, And yes, so as you like traveling here, I will say you notice one thing is like this area of the route is quite like well utilized by like different boats and sailing ships. Like this area of Shackles is quite busy. Like this is like even the Hesselberg here it's also near Hell Harbor. It's also like right between Hell Harbor and the other thing, which is noted Widowmaker's Isle, which are 2 kind of like quite big communities in the Shackles. So it makes sense that there's a lot of sort of like foot traffic. There's a lot of water traffic, I suppose, in this area of the Shackles. It makes it quite good for this kind of business.
You gotta
say the crowd looks like they've all just been run over by a car.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't make this map, but yeah, the crowd are not looking too good. The crowd are looking too good. They've been better. They've been better. Let's put it that way.
Local drinks are strong.
So what'd you say?
Local drinks must be strong.
Local drinks indeed. must be strong. Yeah.
You have to be.
Exactly. Yeah, but you take your seat, and after like a few minutes of bustling, saying like the the circus begins. I'm not going to go for like every show in detail, to see what happens.
What?
But I haven't had like a speech of like the hour and a half or whatever that the circus length is. But you have like the one person who was taking the tickets outside, seems to be the ringmaster. He comes in and he welcomes everybody for another beautiful night at the carnival, and he hopes that everybody has a roaring time of it and sees sights and feats of prowess that were never seen alike anywhere else in the Shackles. And the show begins, and it starts off. It does actually start off with like kind of like an animal show. So you see that I guess, I don't know, I haven't thought about the logistics about this, but from somewhere, certain animals get brought forward at different points in time. There's, there is indeed lion taming is one thing you see. There are indeed, that you saw, a group of velociraptors. Usually, we know a velociraptor, for a lot of you probably wouldn't see, who are like being tamed by someone who kind of like commands them like a pack of dogs, almost like run up like a little bit like old school calls and like throws through hoops. They have like a whip one hand, but they're like, they seem quite well obeyed and do sort of tricks like that. There are 2 elephants that come up later, which are very unusual looking. I actually have like a token of them, but they look so weird. They look like this, and they have lights coming off of them as I get paraded around the stage. There are 2 elephants like this. Which are like almost kind of like also like almost like you can always see like bones through them, which is a weird sort of glowing thing. They are very strange. If anyone wants to like know what this is, they could roll like nature for these things. For instance, if they wanted to have any idea what sort of creatures these were.
Yeah, of course. We want to know all about them.
Can I use fishing?
Yes, you can try.
I could train in nature, I guess.
Train in nature.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jacob.
Nate and Johnny, you really almost can figure out what's going on, but it's hard to tell. It's clearly some sort of elephant that had some sort of like magical like transformation or something like that maybe to them, but you're unsure exactly how this would have worked or like anything like that. But it's just that's all you can tell.
Curious wonder.
Exactly, what a curious wonder indeed. And they have made the elephants do they have like stand on like the beach ball and like balance like in like the cartoons. It's very impressive. And yes, so they have like the animal portion of the show. Then they have one over, which is like a kind of like strongman act, where they have them go around and like have members of the crowd be like, "You see this, beam of iron," and the crowd try to bend it, and they go and just like turn it into like a horseshoe shape, and and they're like, "Whoa." They have somebody who can like bite through like metal that comes on the same page, and he's like a bite out of the horseshoe, and they like chew and swallow the metal. This is like a goblin. You've heard, some of you heard stories about their strong stomachs, and then after that you have like the acrobat act begins. And this one, I actually have an art for one of the performers who introduces herself as Twirling Talia, and like gets up on the high rope and gets to start doing some of the acts and what's it called?
Is she an Undine? Please let her be an Undine.
She's not an Undine, I'm afraid. Looks like this.
Oh, misfortune.
Misfortune.
Yeah.
It's all about LOL with you all, huh? It's all about LOL. Everything is a LOL character.
Of course.
So, this is.
Well, there's
Twirling
only like 1,000
Talia,
of them, so...
who introduces herself and does a show. You do notice, maybe it's just what you've heard the stories, but you think this act could probably be better with one extra person. A lot of the things you've kind of seen in acts, like when they're doing like the trapeze and they're flying from like
jumping and then somebody's supposed to catch her, but
and she just like cat forwards and just land on the ground with a roll. But like when they do thing when they swing from the other, they like catch them in their legs and stuff. She's having to like kind of she's not attempting those before I'm afraid Jacko herself, but a lot of her acts are kind of like so they are just like solo performance, but it just seems like, it would be probably better with an extra person up there. And, that, of course, crosses your mind, but there's probably one missing. But, the rest of the crowd seem to be enjoying it nonetheless and are putting on a good show. And then after that, we have the Fire Eaters come out who, go, eat fire, blah, blah, sword swallowing, the rest of the more common acts there. And then, after about an hour and a half, the show is done. Hopefully you all had a good time. And, yes, the ringmaster goes to the stage once more, thanks everyone for the attendance, hopes to see you again on another night for more for more impressive shows. Chris, what is
For my
this?
save, I had a great time.
Yeah, I just say it's a will save. Yes, but doing my own thanks to everybody for another wonderful and impressive show at the carnival, and hopes to see them on a future date. And then there's a bow and obviously a clap for everyone as all the performers come on stage.
Are they,
wait, where's the Discord sound? How do I make the Discord sound? That's good. Okay, yes, that's a clap.
Is there any mention of how long they're still around, or is it? It does seem to be semi-permanent.
You know,
that are-
they don't mention it as part of the show itself.
Okay.
Like that, you know, it's a bit of a down. Yeah, but they do say hope to come back and see you on a following night. So obviously it's not you don't say it's like the last night or anything like that. They don't make any like special announcement or bit like that. And they don't say like tomorrow either. So you think it probably at least not like imminent. Yeah, and then people start to file out of the circus. You follow or what's...
What do you think, Johnny?
I think we should.
I could do
Well,
that
just
too.
go to the. Go to the I think we should find the guy that was selling the tickets and talk to him.
Yeah, the ringmaster's still like now at the exit, like kind of shaking people's hand as they leave, and like kind of just doing like the nice sort of like, oh,
Ah,
you know,
okay,
like,
okay.
you know, like a
Okay.
feast does when you leave the church, and they're like, oh, thank you, Father.
Well-
They're doing this, but like, thanks for the show, mate. You know, like they're doing that stuff.
Wait, just go out last.
Yeah, as you go out, you know, like,
Well-
good. I hope you enjoyed the show. He speaks, to you, Johnny, as you bought the tickets. I hope it was up to your standards. I'm afraid we don't have any water acts yet, but we could consider perhaps getting a pool of water in and, doing some high diving in a future day.
That's a great idea. But see, we didn't only come here for the show. We also saw
No.
your request in Port Peril board. Missing acrobat.
Oh, I see. Well, that is a good surprise. Please, he kind of checks to make sure everybody has left, left the tent. Like, please follow me to my tent so we can discuss this in more detail.
You
Yeah,
say
he
it
leads
is
you,
a
like-
surprise? Are we the first?
Well, we had one group, but unfortunately their adventures on the high wire didn't go too smoothly. Regardless, please follow me. And
Okay.
he, leads you over to the other.
Oh.
I admit after that escapade, I was a little hesitant about new people, but you look like a capable bunch. Please sit down. And he kind of like leads you into tent. It's like kind of like basically like a makeshift office. It's you just imagine you sleep somewhere else. It's just like a table with chairs, like some chests in the back.
Jesus.
Like, please, so, four of you? Oh, no, wait, Cooper came over with, I guess you will also enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Five of you are up to the task of investigating this matter.
Yes, we are here.
Definitely feel
to
it, right?
Check that out.
And,
Excellent. Well, I forget the
Maybe
timelines, because you have been on the road a while, and I remember when I made the job posting. But to give you a short brief of what has happened, not too long ago, it's after things. We have been in this locale for a while. Normally we travel more often than normal, but this place has been good to us. The location is perfect with the various trade in the area, and is a nice welcoming community. So we've been here now for
That's good to hear.
close to 2 months almost. I really should be starting to get on, but it's always hard when you make somewhere more of a home. It's a lot of work putting up the tent, I can tell you that much. And since we've been here, about kind of things, a bit over a month after our performance, one day our lead acrobat, so I need to check the name, I wrote it down somewhere. An elf by the name of Sylvanas, Sky Dancer is how he likes to call him at the very least, went missing. And he kind of, he points to kind of at the back to one of the posters, that like says Carnival Dreams and has like his picture on it, just so I can show you the art. Looks like this. No, which lead characters that? They're not all lead characters, right?
no.
No, this is
Good,
more
good.
Astarian-esque.
This is
This is like
I mean, it has pointy ears, a staring ass.
pointy ears,
Yeah, it fucking is.
hair.
Nothing like a staring ass. I mean, it's like long hair and a beard.
What?
Wait,
Oh,
he doesn't
sorry, who are you
have a beard?
saying? Who are you saying?
Astarian
Altair.
from Baldur's Gate?
Oh, no, sorry, I'm saying Altair. Sorry. Oh,
Oh,
sorry. Yeah,
no.
okay, here's a little bit of a stereotype. That's true. That's true. Yes, he's like, yes, he kind of joins the church. Yeah, so our lead acrobat went missing one day. I don't quite know his fate. His tent was undisturbed. He hadn't packed up his things or anything like that. It was all left in one place. We tried to leave it almost untouched after night, as we hoped that someone more capable would be able to perhaps find out any clues from there. We've had a quick look, but nothing that should catch our eye at the very least. But
I think that's why we should begin looking.
kind kind of shrugs. Oh, your business.
Johnny
but-
puts on his inspector hat.
Indeed. Yeah, like, I believe the hunter was not there. And he's like, oh, what is this?
So I'm just
Pixel.
wanted to roll some insights
Oh,
because he was
insight.
kind of like surprised about people being here and just see if he's glad that we're here.
He seems glad, but you also think he doesn't sound. It's like it has been a while, and you kind of get the sense he'd also, in a way, probably accepted it. Like, it's like business. Like, maybe someone left. Like, of course, it's good if we can find out what happened, but in the end,
Like opening
life
back
moves
up
on.
a closed case.
Oh, I'll tell you, you have the exact same feeling. I love when people are all the same. That's nice. And yes, he says, yeah, that's a good place to start. But regardless, since then we have been a bit short-staffed in some of the shows. So as I also mentioned in the posting, if any of you are also circusly inclined, we could always use another act to pad out.
Circusly inclined.
Use another act to pad out the.
That's a new one.
You don't know that one?
Such a
You
good
could,
grasp of the language.
Exactly. Top 98% pops. We could always use another act to pad out the show a little bit, if any of you feel up to such a thing. But regardless,
I'd be willing to try. I don't know what kind of thing, but I can do acrobatic stuff.
you do acrobatics. Well, you can always have a word with Talia and see if she needs an extra hand up there on the trapeze. She has been looking a little lonely as of late.
Yeah, that's slightly out of place. The whole-
Oh, was she
And I
close with
could do that
the previous acrobat who went missing?
Well, they were performing together. Yes, I suppose you could say they've been in this company for he kind of things. Oh, it must be going up on 2 years now. We've had them both as part of our regular cast. So indeed, without him there, at least she's missing, I suppose, someone to catch her when she falls. Or at least when
Definitely not a
she,
Black Widow, guys.
no good. Yeah, so he's like, yeah, so yeah, of course, I'm sure she could use a hand, and if any of the others of you think you can put on a show or two, if you have any performance in your blood, then we can always see what we can do. It's always good to have
Performance
fresh
or
talent show.
acrobatics?
It
for me.
depends what you're wanting to
That was
do.
out of game. Out of game.
Yes, okay, so I want this to be something we can all do. So obviously, performance is something you could, if you want to take part in the show on the other night, you could almost do like anything with performance. You don't need a specific thing. But this is any like kind of individual skills you wanted to do. If, for instance, Crystal wanted to show his impressive by shooting off tin cans with a mirror like kind of held in front of him, like the old kind of shit they do in the West. If
He just gets a
I
shotgun and
haven't
blows a
practiced
hole
my
in a
trick
wall.
guns.
Exactly. If Nate wanted to do some tests of strength with himself or anything like that, or like anything acrobatic, he could also try to do such. You could use acrobatics or athletics. Realistically, if you have the imagination to describe how you're using your skill in something to do it, I'm happy for us to use that for like a skill check, for instance. See, he's like, kind of basically like, the circus is full of all sorts: fire eaters, jugglers, flame catchers. It really goes on and on. If you have a skill you think people will pay to see, then I'll see if I can find a place for you in my circus for at least a few days while we solve this little conundrum.
All right, what's everyone doing? Let's go down the line.
He's like, oh, are you putting your friends on the spot there? Cooper's
Tugging my collar.
Cooper's like, do you need a new cook perhaps in the circus?
Ooh, you
Okay.
could do some American deep South food, like deep fried Twinkies and deep
Oh
fried
yes,
jerky
confection
yeah,
meat
like
for the
these-
stuff.
yeah,
Cooper's
that's
like,
true
"Indeed,
carnival
I
food."
did notice during the performance, one thing you were lacking was a snack cart. I didn't see anyone coming around offering hot dogs or Twinkies or popcorn. And Kalen, which is the name of the big man, he did introduce himself to be Kalen Big Show.
Hot dog.
Is his last name.
Big Show. Kalen Big Show.
Kalen Big Show. It's like, you're right.
Oh,
Cooper,
God.
wasn't it? You're right. One of the things, we are missing it. Perhaps we're losing a few copper on the old snack business. You have a word with some of my other camp cooks. We'll see if we can figure out a better way to, make that not be a problem. People like smiles, like, yeah, be my pleasure. Yeah, he's like, and the rest of you, of course, there's no urgent rush, and we prepare for the shows in the mornings, perform in the evenings. If you can have an idea of any sorts, I would suggest you also could speak with the other circus performers to see if you can join their show or make your own up. Just let me know before we begin, so I can be sure to announce you right and proper at the beginning of the performance.
Damn, Nate has a good circus skills, honestly.
I mean, you probably do. No, you could be a strong man. That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Hey, you could bend bars, like we saw.
Oh, you can.
I mean, I have combat climber. I can climb well. I have cat fall. I can
Mm.
fall down.
Oh well.
You fall well,
Powerful
yes.
leap.
I mean, a
Alright,
stuntsman, one who can do all, comes in very good. I
Yeah.
will say, someone who's willing to take the hard hits. We also have one where we break a. We didn't see this one today. We lost a large person to a terrible accident. We do have one where we chop a chunk of wood that is currently being placed on someone's back to show the skill of the axe to stop right after the wood is cut, but before the skin is pinched. That's a very popular show. Very hard to find a volunteer. We stopped using audience participants in a few islands back.
Yeah, easy.
Easy? Sorry, you offering to be the platform or the axeman?
Maybe the Axeman.
Or if any one of your beautiful friends wants to be the platform for the axe to be hit against, then
does seem like a job for Crixel, doesn't it, Johnny?
Yeah.
I'm about it every time.
I attract bad luck.
man,
Excellent.
that's a great circle performance. That. What the hell? That would be.
All right, who's gonna out backflip who, Johnny, for the acrobat stuff?
He's like, well, of course, there's no need to fight amongst yourself. If you both believe you can join, I do not mind. We can have quite a troop, so to say. Regardless, perhaps, yes, Talia is a better one to speak to than me. She is normally in charge of organizing the
Okay,
routine.
maybe-
Yeah, definitely go speak to her.
Disappearing acts instead. Where one moment you're there, another moment disappear. You do that often.
Given the right circumstances, true. But
Not sure
we'll
how to make a
discuss
show.
with
I-
Talia Al Ghul.
I do not like being in spotlight, but I can help with the crafting, with the building process, making
You
sure.
can do the Rudy Tooty aim and
Ropes are-
shooty.
But what if I kill someone?
He shrugs. Well, we
I'm
normally
sure it
leave
wouldn't be the
islands
first
then. It'd
time.
be a little frustrating
insured
having to
against
move
that?
islands. You will be on a temporary permit. Normally, a temporary participant. It would be much preferable if you did not kill anyone.
What the hell, Crixel?
But regardless,
Maybe-
the crafting is mostly done. I also am afraid once the tent is up, it stays up. We always need someone to help with cleaning up after the elephants.
So you have your choice of being the board for the axe, picking up shit, or the thing you're
Tempting.
good at.
Tempting. I will have to think.
Well, most of the time you're good at it.
It does glow in the dark. Very interesting. Much more interesting than normal.
Yeah, like
elements.
those. They it literally look like they're in a cloud of.
Used to getting my hands dirty. Could do, maybe.
No, there's
Get back
plenty
to
of
you.
work for that in the circus. I'm sure they're coming to workers would love a break. But regardless, it is quite late, and I admit being the showman does take it a little bit out of me. If you... Oh, I look forward to maybe seeing your wonderful work. I can show you perhaps to where Silvaris has his accommodation, if you wish to check that out. It's been a
Yes,
while since then.
we should do
And
that.
I will also at least point out Talia's tent. You can either speak to her tonight or in the morning. It's probably up to you.
How high up is the?
Oh, it is impressive, isn't it?
Yeah,
He kind
well,
of looks at the tent. You will scarcely believe it. What is a good realistic height for this to be? I will say, oof, blimey, it must be close to 60, 70 feet.
Hold on.
Dream bigger.
Cat follow.
Some, yes. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. I imagine some are, yes. Many trees are smaller, and well, he does raise an eyebrow. But you're right, in the sense of tree height? Yeah, some are big, some are small.
Yeah, technically, I guess I just googled this. A tight wire becomes a high wire act above 20 feet. So
And then Mars is certainly a high
Really
wire.
high.
What does it become after
Yeah.
60 feet? A very high wire?
it's still just a high wire act.
I like
But
the
then
name
it's
very
like-
high wire.
Dangerous and the deadly. I'm sure you just add superlatives to the
The
beginning.
deadly highway, the dangerous highway, the exhilarating highway. Yes, the names depend on the day and how I'm
Death
feeling.
defying.
You have to find
high
that's a
wire
nice one. I will have to consider that for my repertoire.
Like you don't have any 30 feet high wires.
I don't have any
Exactly,
30 feet
exactly
high
30,
wires.
not a
30
inch
feet.
higher.
Then make
Kind
Yeah.
of raises an eyebrow. This is your preferred working distance, I suppose?
Yeah.
No, I'm
the
afraid
moment,
not.
it's-
Can you imagine it being 30 feet twice? Would that make you feel better about the height?
No, not really.
A shame.
Unless,
He is
Unless I can
selectively afraid
fall-
of heights.
unless I can
Specifically
fall
30 feet to where he
from
can die.
one rope to the other, and then
Not in the current layout. If you're interested in perhaps for your specific show altering the layout slightly, then perhaps at least your friend the Tengu could have some work in setting that up for you.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, Crixel, you could fly.
Now that would be extraordinary.
You're the
You've never
most
had a...
evil I've ever met.
I had a flying... I didn't realize Tengu could. I met a few in my life. So, is that yes?
We'll figure it out.
Take your chance,
Of
make
course,
it
of course.
Come up with
I really need to get this
Yes.
finished up for the night. You know, a lot of administrative work to do.
It can mix everyone's abilities together, and it can be Nate throwing Crixel from one side to the other in the appearance of flight.
We do have a cannon, if that would help.
I could do like
Can I shoot?
3 weeks in the water. Do they have
So,
a
did you
pool
mean,
as
can you be
part of
shot?
the arena?
If so, certainly.
Oh, out of a cannon. Ah, that's an idea.
I will say the last person survived many, many attempts.
Yeah. The worst case scenario, right, is
How
your
many
feet
is
become
that,
part
like
of your chest.
4?
Make mockery of my ancestry.
I could.
Well,
Yes,
that's you. Like to kind
Run
of
out of
ushers you
water.
to the tent exit. You know, it sounds like a discussion amongst friends that should be had over a nice drink, so tensions are not faded.
Yes.
Like, I look forward to seeing you all in tomorrow.
Let's go speak with Talia
Yeah.
after we see where the tent is.
Oh, yes, I did say I would do that, didn't I? He kind of pops his head out there and he's like, that one down there. He kind of points. It's Sylvaris's, and the one just to the right is Talia's. Yes. And you
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
go want to open up?
Let's go.
We immediately go, right?
Tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Which
an
I like his
idea
tent.
for my act. I can use water sprint, run over water, and then fall in
They don't have water.
and be underwater for like half an hour due to underwater breathing.
That's a little bit of a longer act.
I was watching
Yeah,
the
but-
jam
yeah,
for half an
that-
hour.
And like,
And
looking
you have to
at
like make it a
water.
spectacle by like
I
eating the
pop out,
jar
like-
that everyone can look
Yeah,
at.
but
while
like,
there's
yeah,
other
like,
things going on.
I like his idea, you know, like, you know, he does that, and then you do a couple other acts, and then he pops out.
I mean,
for the
it
finale.
also
Yeah.
could be like an escape act, right? But you're pretty good at like acrobatics, like escape from manacles or whatever, if you were like kind of chained up in like a big tank.
You can
of
go
water.
out the way Houdini did.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
I thought you got
Get
punched in the
punched
stomach and I
yeah,
killed
got
him.
punched in the
Yeah.
stomach, yeah.
I know.
We could also do that to Quixel. Quixel's pretty good at that.
Stomach was late, boy.
Okay, yeah, so you want to go, sorry, to Talia's tent? Or
Well,
No,
the
we
other
go
guys?
for the other guys
only
first
at
to
night.
investigate.
Mr. Sylvanas.
Okay, so Varas
Yeah,
says
yeah,
first.
yeah.
Okay, yes. So you go in and you kind of peek in. You know, it's obviously not locked or anything. It's a tent, so it's kind of hard to even. You kind of go inside. Inside, it's kind of got a very sort of I don't know how do I rate it? Like a sort of like lots of like flowing silk from the top, kind of like kind of kind of Middle Eastern, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but you kind of know what I mean. Like kind of feels kind of like you're going into more like a kind of like silk then kind of thing. You're not sure. I mean, you saw also like in his picture at least, he also like got ropes. You imagine there's like also acrobats who use kind of like silk and stuff, like hang on ropes and stuff made out of it. I don't know if you like seen that kind of stuff in the Olympics. It has like a little bit of also that kind of vibe. You see the tent isn't like big, maybe it's like a 15 foot by 15 foot sort of thing. There is sort of like a solid platform that like a bed always like rested on, but obviously they're just sleeping here for like a long time. I still don't want to be on just a floor. So there's like, some sort of like, rudimentary mattress that you see he slept on that is currently sort of like not made up, it's like this. And there's like a kind of table on one side with like a mirror that's kind of like on a stand like behind the table. And the table has kind of like different things, like also kind of what you would use for like makeup and stuff like that, as well as like some jewelry and everything. And there's also like some like letters on it. There's like a drawer on the table. It looks like almost like a dressing room kind of thing. Are you wanting to just like look around it, see if you can find anything that catches your eye?
Yeah, investigate.
Anything else? we can-
Investigating.
That's cool.
Okay. They didn't make the investigate action in this edition, so I guess you're just doing perception checks as you search for anything unusual.
Mhm.
Okay, then anyone who
Oh.
wants to be having a little search around, you can give me a perception.
I'll like aid someone else.
Okay.
Okay.
Who are you choosing? You will tell me.
Alter.
Okay, so obviously it's also like a little bit of a stuffy room, so it's difficult to find out exactly like what Well, like not difficult to find out, so it's difficult to like take your time. All three of you, you kind of make sure you don't get into it way. So it's a little bit like slower than if you're like vomiting everything, and you're also trying to be a bit careful not to like ruin each other's investigations. Okay, one thing you notice is based also on like the like how it was left. I guess you say when you like look over. Nate especially, you're used to like traveling for like long voyages, and you're people like, right, this place. If you do get a sense from looking at like the chest is like full of clothes, you see like it looks like it hasn't been like taken out. So when they left, or if they left on their will, obviously, or whatever, then they kind of everything was kind of left behind. It looks like nothing was taken out. So you get the idea that probably wasn't like at least if they like left out of choice, it wasn't like a plan like I'm going for a while kind of thing, right? Like if you would just like run away from the circus, there's too much here in terms of clothes and also other belongings, it wouldn't have been left behind. That doesn't really make sense to you. It seems like something's a little bit wrong with that. You look over a little bit about the desk itself, and you kind of look inside the drawer. You see in the drawer there is like almost one thing there is, there's like a couple more like kind of personal belongings, like jewelry and stuff, which looks like your like chains that go around the arm. Free loot, exactly. You can take it if you want. And as well as that, in one of the drawers, you see like a collection of almost like a fan mail kind of thing, where like you would imagine, like it looks like he's kind of kept it as a way, to be like, you probably find, for making him feel good to like look at. There's different ones from like different people. You see a couple of signs where like almost influential people, like the lady of this other island, for instance, that they probably taught it at the past, or different things like professing their like interest, like showing their love of the show and what he had performed at and the like. And you also see, what's it called? As well as that, you see that there is one letter similar to this that is written, and also not written, that is lying on the desk itself. That was like lying there like when you got in. So it looks like this is maybe one of those like here, like would be the most recent one to be like looked at either by him or by someone else, right? If they were in here, which says, what's it called? Dear Sylvaris, my immense appreciation of a wonderful performance this night. I've never seen the like before. Please enjoy this as a small gift of my appreciation. Signed, your admirer. And this is like the letter that is lying, like most like looks like it's been read the most recently. That is lying, what's it called? On the desk itself and not in the drawer. So that kind of, of course, catches your eye, but that seems to be like probably the last thing that's been interacted in here. Apart from that, those of you who are looking around, I will say one thing that catches your eye a lot is there is certainly a lot of jewelry, more so than you would like say normally. So you imagine he probably was like quite fond of it.
Ill-gotten gains.
Who knows? Yes, indeed, potentially. Anything else that catches your eye from searching around? It does look like you've been told it's been on like a few. It's been on a few weeks. So you think you believe the person's claim where it hasn't been messed around with much. You think some of the things has been moved. For instance, the letter and stuff. You think it probably has been moved more recently than like a month ago, but that is a while. And you say you'd be more science with being longer. So you think at least you're not the first people to have like gone in here and looked around. But you obviously while this was on the desk now, who knows if that was also like placed there or like after the actual event. Of course, you can't really make sure the tracks and the timelines and everything like that leaves up perfectly. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it that you get from investigating.
Okay, so looks like this letter was the last arrived. Maybe our guy was reading it when something happened. It mentions a gift, and it would appear that the gift is missing or not here, along with the letter. Do you think that maybe
That is a mystery.
that
And the desk is otherwise empty, right?
Yeah, it's got that drawer in it, but the desk itself, it has like little bits like makeup I can describe, but there's nothing else like on the desk that kind of seems to be related. No, technically it could have been like one of these like like bottles or something, but the way they're like lined up, it doesn't really in your mind seem to fit.
Do you think that maybe our acrobat here went to meet the secret admirer and maybe took the gift with him and then never came back?
Could be. don't see much signs of
Sounds
struggle.
plausible enough, yeah.
So at least left the tents willingly.
Yeah, I mean the tent looks like the occupant left in a hurry, or I mean, nothing seems to be taken, right? All the belongings still.
Yeah,
here.
I will say a
It's possible.
hurry. You're not sure if you'd say it was a hurry, or like if they did leave,
Yeah.
it's more like they didn't bother to take anything, right?
And then
It's
Yeah,
not
but-
necessarily been a hurry.
Must come back.
Yeah, they didn't
Okay.
plan to leave, right?
No, not for long.
Imagine they plan to be back.
How close together are these tents that we're seeing, like of the people?
Hers to so like Talia's to his, like the nearest together, and they're like
Mhm.
maybe 15, 20 feet apart.
Oh, that's pretty close, yeah. And then
Yeah.
it's pretty spread around. For the other
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I'd say, I mean, there's a lot, it's like, it takes quite a few people to keep an operation like this running. So, in total, maybe there's like, between like a dozen to 2 dozen tents kind of like scattered around like a couple hundred feet, like around like the circus tent. There's another one, maybe like 30 feet on the other side. It's not like these two were much closer together than any others.
So he has left at night. Probably someone hurt, maybe? Could ask the closest tents.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe we start with asking Talia. She was the partner, and we need to talk to her anyway.
Well, yeah, she might know the most, right? About it.
Mhm.
Or she might go just like that.
Get a better idea of
Go
who
talk to
this
her. anyways.
Sylvanas definitely not Windrunner is.
Okay.
And
Cool, so
get
you
to know
wanna-
your future partner.
Who?
Johnny.
Everyone,
Acrobatic part, yeah? The whole trapeze thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Should be fun. Not dangerous at
Professional,
all.
of course.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, you want to go over to the next door?
Yep.
How do you do, like, you can't really knock with this, like, a tent. Do you, like, announce
You
your
just
presence?
clap outside for a
And,
second.
like, and she's like, yes, thank you all, it was a wonderful show. No.
mhm.
Okay, but you say something, I guess? Or you do something at least to alert her?
Like, call her name outside the tent. I don't know. What do you? Yeah, the
What
tent
do
to
you
go
do?
to the tent. What?
Yeah, what do you do, Tom? I've been in some tents in my life.
You're
where I
the
would just
leader
shout
of this
that
group
fucker,
right now.
Where I would just shout at that
Detective
fucker, be
Johnny.
Detective Johnny.
Johnny Quick.
Okay, yeah, you kind of call her name, and after a minute, she kind of after a few seconds, the kind of there's like a frown on her face. She kind of pulls back the tent, and like kind of steps outside. I'm like, yes, how can I help you all?
Hello. We are investigating the disappearance of Device.
You are. I see. Kaylin finally decided to find someone else. Yes.
Yeah.
well, the idea is to find him,
That is
not
the
replace
idea.
him.
No, I find someone else to find.
Okay, sure.
Well, do you have any clues?
Well, we were just in the tent, and we were wondering, can you tell us about it?
About him? Well, he is. She looks like she's having a little bit of trouble finding a word.
Does he meet with his fans often?
He's had a few nighttime encounters, we could say, in his past. He is
Does he go
self-assured, confident, obnoxious, but most of these for good reason. He is, I admit, or was, I hope, it still is,
Kind of like,
a very fine acrobat.
Was, I hope. Slip of the tongue.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope it is. Excuse me, sorry. It's been a while, and I admit he's been gone a long time. It's been unusual. He was a very fine actor. He is a very fine actor.
Do you have
Make
any
it be
regular
inside check.
places
You
outside
can do a
the
perception.
circus he would go to?
I mean, while we were here, I admit it myself as well. I have gone to the inn on occasion when I need a nightcap. It happens. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of company. I had seen him go over to the inn before in his past. Well,
Has
he was
anyone even like looked at all into like looking for him? I mean, how much
yes,
have you
of
guys
course.
looked for it? I mean, I presume you looked at the inn and stuff like that.
We did indeed, yes. But you've asked, you asking me where he could frequent that is late. Oh, yes, indeed, we did ask the inn to see if anybody had seen him. We did not get a true answer. People, of course, have seen him on previous nights, but no one had seen him on that night in particular. Of course, I have tried, but I do also.
Anything strange on the night of the disturbance? Or when he probably disappeared?
The night of the disturbance. No, I remember after the show, he was signing some of the individuals' posters, the artifacts. He often meets with some of his fans. Outside after the performance, I admit he's probably the most well-known of our little troupe. So often people will come specifically to see him. Normally I am not so impressed by the display, so I do not stay to watch, but I remember at least that also happened that night. Then I remember him returning to attend perhaps, it's a while ago now, half an hour to an hour after the performance, I assume when he was done mingling with his fans. After that, we went out for dinner later afterwards. He hadn't mentioned anything at that point about anything unusual. Then we retreated to our tents in the evening and I hold up and I've not seen him since. Yeah, so you're paying a close eye on what she's saying. She definitely seems a little like rolling her eyes about this thing about the fans, but she's not really hiding that. The chain of events, you believe she is, you don't sense her hiding much from that. The same view after. She seems like, yeah, and it's also about like is obviously she maybe didn't make Ed mistakes that I did. It's like this is like the Shackles is a dangerous place. Like a month is a long time. It's I think like she has in some ways also probably thought like okay, probably not going to be coming back. You know what I mean? Like that is kind of too long. So of course, like she's humoring you by saying you, but she also probably doesn't think you're getting up to the task of finding what's happening. If you kind of get that sense from her, especially when Joy's like, if you try looking for her, she's like, of course, like
So how did you two get along? I'd imagine.
I mean, we worked together for a very long time. I believe our show we did together was very good. I admit, sometimes him being the lead performer, it's not always the easiest pill to swallow to do a second best. But she shrugs. I mean, the show, my performance is not as good without him, so also a shame to see him no longer able to help me with that. You think from this, you think she's actually hiding something? You think probably she maybe cares a little bit more, or at least, now she's thinking back on it, she probably, I mean, what Vodavingly said, they were together for 2 years, like working the same show. She seems very sort of just like laissez-faire about it now. You've sensed, probably it does affect her a little bit more than she's saying.
What about his admirers? Didn't that bother you at all?
No, of course not. I mean, we're performers. It's normal for us to be admired.
What about your
yeah, this one, again,
nighttime meetings with
he is an adult, of course he can do what he wants. And yeah, I mean, again, it's those of you who are like inciting her. Yeah, exactly. You're all kind of doing it now. I mean, maybe I'm like, just giving off a little bit of this as I act her out. But she seems maybe a little like, she probably maybe cared for me a little bit more. Maybe not necessarily romantically, but of course, either way, of course, it can still affect you seeing someone like you work with be maybe so like, outgoing or outwards. Maybe at least she felt like not insulted, but maybe at least it bothered her a little.
I mean, insight is basically diplomacy here, right?
No, it's perception. Perception to see if you can sense like sight also is perception, but like a blind ones you don't get to see.
Yeah.
Well, Okay, yeah, you also think that, yeah, maybe you don't see it quite as clear as Outer, especially. Outer really gets a sense that maybe,
Mhm.
you know, she did mean something to her. You get more the impact that, you know, she was probably a little bit annoyed by it, but, like, you know, not extremely. It was just, you know, a little bit, like, you know, just frustrating if your partner is maybe not quite in that way, but, you know, someone you work with is quite so.
Mm.
I don't know, no way to say it.
So,
Alice?
what do you think happened when he went missing?
I have
Why?
thought about it a lot. I mean, we had worked here for a while. Well, you know, we were maybe not very close. You know, we were at least, say, somewhat friends. I do not believe he had a good job here, a good life. He was well respected. He had many admirers, as we have talked about. I do not see why he would have just left. I can only imagine, perhaps. My thoughts always, he was a little bit of a. But not risk-taking, but, you know, spontaneous individual, as many in our craft are. Sometimes I wonder if perhaps on a wild night something went wrong, perhaps, and you know, we always, you know, some of our profession like to dabble with substances sometimes, which maybe aren't always healthy for us. You know, perhaps something went a bit badly one night, and he decided he couldn't stay to see the actions of his consequences. He kind of shrugs. And we surprised that was a possibility, and knowing what had happened, he decided to run before being found. But catching that, I have also asked around town to see if there was anything like that, but there was no signs of any young girl who, you know, overdosed in the night or anything. That had not come up, so it also led some sort of element of untruth to that one. The only thing I can see it could be is that someone else did something to it. It stopped him coming back in some way. I believe he has been, or was, I don't know, kidnapped, killed, attacked. I don't know why anyone would have something against him enough to do so.
Is there any one guest or one he interacted with that was recurring? More than once?
She looks like she's like really trying hard to think, you know, but that's been like a while ago. I don't remember one in particular, I'm afraid. It's hard to say. I imagine if, and perhaps I should have done a better job of this myself, but I admit sometimes I didn't like to, I didn't wish to associate myself too much with them. Maybe some others in the town who had seen past performers of his could tell you more, if there are any of their friends or their individuals who work with him much. But to be honest, most of his little after work signings and meetups I purposely took a blind eye to. But maybe asking amongst themselves is a good place to start. Not themselves, as those.
Have you heard of any dangers on the island outside of the circus? Wild animals or pirates?
You go inland far enough, there are dangers most places here. Some of those dinosaurs you see in our act exist, you know, further inland. But I will say also, I mean, we've had our run-ins in the past with, you know, unscrupulous fellows in the time of the circus, and Silverus, as well as being an acrobat, can certainly at least handle himself somewhat. I don't believe a simple wild animal in the forest would have. I don't believe he went for a straw and then was mauled by a wild boar, is what I'm trying to say. He was made of certainly something you could imagine, being, you know, suspended in the air and using your own body for many years. You know, myself as well, I would admit, really does make you, you know, be able to handle your own in a fight. Maybe not as much as you adventurers, but still enough for common folk.
What about did you have any disagreements with other performers here in the circus? You know, those things happen in the workplace,
Of course,
especially
yes. She said we've
dangerous.
all had disagreements. Very sure. I mean, the most often people we disagree with is Caleb himself, of course, about our working hours, about our share of the proceeds and the like. And of course, you know, we have disagreements about the others' performances, if we believe they're taking too much of the limelight, if they're getting attention they don't really deserve. I mean, you know, some people say a circus is like a family, and all families have arguments. But for one of us to do this, I don't believe it.
Okay.
And yeah, those of your listeners, yeah, you think she doesn't believe it. But certainly they do have disagreements, and maybe, you know, even stronger ones than she normally just.
I'll look at the others and I think.
Yeah, I don't have any
what
more
it
questions.
does.
Good. Then, I suppose, yes, I will see you, and hopefully you will find out more.
On a different note,
Hmm?
we're also all, you know, kind of offered, considering put me some acts in by
Keelan is still
If it's a
hoping
great show?
Keelan's still hoping to get the miraculous combo of investigator / circus performer.
what's kind of implied on the note.
Yeah, I remember
We saw
seeing his
the
draft
bloody
and
board.
not understanding why he believed that was the best use of our time. But yes. And I suppose you're saying you have such amazing capabilities?
I mean, we do lots of same things. We are, you know, we're sailors adventurers. You know, we do all sorts of jumping on ropes and stuff like
Jumping
that.
on
climbing and
ropes?
stuff.
Impressive.
I could say better at acrobats than investigators.
Yes. Yeah, probably.
She kind of looks at Mulder. I see. So perhaps, yes, you are. The idea was more of a replacement than a finding.
No. We are interested in both. You know, maybe a temporary attempt at acrobatics, but also we you know, do enjoy mystery sometimes. Solving.
Well, I hope you're having
Add some acrobatics in it. Potentially. I'm specifically interested in the same type as you're doing. This is high rope.
I see. And you are. Have you ever performed in front of a crowd before? It isn't always the same as doing it in your own spare time. But there's no one to look at you for.
Not really, but I don't particularly
You don't get stage fright?
mind. No, not really.
Right, well, it's a bit late now, but
Well,
perhaps in the
yes.
morning we can at least
We've
go up to the
pretty much just
wire.
arrived before the show, and
I want to
yeah,
try
anything else
to-
tomorrow morning, definitely.
Indeed, well, I will start perhaps
my
this is my
age.
routine in the day either way. Yes, sorry?
Despite my age, I want to try to
You're
raise
right.
the
I've seen
good
older than
climb.
you.
He feels much older than he is, you know. Should
But
add
adventuring life was meant to do the opposite.
somehow for him it's worked out. Yeah. Wait, I mean, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, what did you say? You wish to do what though? Also acrobatics?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't realize
I'm
it was...
pretty strong too, so could.
Well, you can always, you know, useful to have a strong person doing acrobatics as well. To some of the tricks require quite a great deal of strength. And if you also acrobats, is it just a team of traveling acrobats pretending to be sailors?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see.
Well,
looks like
To hop around, but no star.
hopping around. Yes, that isn't probably quite the level we're looking for.
Kind of
Oh.
a shot there forward.
Another one, another acrobat.
No.
Very well. 4. She had a. I've never done a show with 4. She's like, all right, I will.
I mean, I can
admit
do
me-
a mix of tumbling, acrobatics. Just
Very well.
depends on what you
Yeah.
need.
Well, I suppose with 4 of us, that might allow us to do some displays I've never got the chance to do with only 2. Very well. I'll put you through your paces in the morning, and we'll figure out how we can best make a show that Caleb will be happy to announce. Very well. Then yes, I will go back to my tent. It's all the same with you.
You have a good one.
Yes, the same too with you.
Maybe we should just stop being adventurous and open a
Circus.
circus. Do that full time.
Let's see if the money's good.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah. What do you find me do? Like, concluded.
But how's your head feeling? Still need to
Feeling a little
potentially
better. I had
early?
a nap earlier. I might like finish a little bit earlier, but I think we can.
Okay.
Well, this is also pretty useful.
That's how it's like. Kind of felt like it's a
Think-
decent stopping point
But I think
potentially if you were.
yeah, as a party, I think we want to like go to bed pretty soon, right? Like, and then continue the investigation tomorrow. So
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll
Yeah.
say if
Yeah,
there's
I don't
more
know how much we
discussions-
can-
If there's any more discussions that you want to have this evening, maybe about like
I mean,
plans for what
maybe-
you want to
maybe
do
we-
as your investigation. I guess that
maybe-
also does help me a little bit in case it's like, oh, I want to go speak with this person or blah blah. You know, doesn't hurt me.
Maybe I was thinking maybe we should ask at least one more person about the guy to get a different
Mhm.
perspective on the
Yeah,
this
definitely.
The other
Yeah.
acrobat.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah,
good, yeah.
right.
oh, you gotta go to the inn, right? Like where they frequented.
Yeah, that's also an option.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
also
Maybe,
think that, like,
one
you
or
know,
two crew
You also think, you know, a
mates.
lot of people, maybe you, I also don't know, like, for instance, how, like, this is maybe something I should have asked, like, during the show, if you actually, like, you know, at all watching, like, the crowd, you know, to gain any sort of, like, you know, faces or anything, and people in the crowd who also might be someone you could recognize later. But,
I mean, I
I'm
think
very
I
distracted,
probably
actually.
would have been doing that. Like, I would have been
Yeah.
trying to keep an eye on the general performance to see, you know, what's happening there. But
exactly, sure.
also a lot on probably all the other. I would probably be paying less attention to the crowd and more the other circus folk.
Sure.
Or like, what are their reactions to watching this? Like, are some of them grimaced or, you know, like
Yeah.
upset looking?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Stuff
I
like
also
that.
like I don't know how it's like super made intent. I don't know really get like logistics. In my mind, it has become like an entrance in the backfight as well. Like people like you know stuff like equipment and stuff gets bought out of when you like change performances and stuff like
Yeah, the
that. You know,
crew,
rather than main entrance.
crew
Exactly.
entrance,
So of course, like most of the time, like the best performances weren't like you know in the stage, right? When they were you know doing what's it called? Man, your cat's so much bigger, Tom. Is that the same cat? I remember they were like a little cat.
Well, he's grown up. You know,
Crazy.
It's been a while. Since we had him.
Crazy. Yeah, I know. That's why it's been funny. I'm so used to seeing like
Seen
a
a
little
lot of
kid,
food.
and I was like a big
Yeah,
old cat.
he's
I remember when he was like climbing in your little, you know, your chair, like the back of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
bit
now it's
bigger
a
now,
big
yeah.
kitty. Oh,
still climbs up.
Big Dum Dum
it
doesn't
looks like
quite
our cat as well.
enjoy as much contact as you'd want.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
run
loves,
away, run away, run
loves
away,
it,
run away.
loves the contact. Let me
Run away.
out. Okay, so yeah, so there's like there's like a back entrance to this marquee, you know, where like people come and go during performances. So you didn't get a good look at all the crew, but yeah, for sure, some are like you know waiting around like while some of the performances happen, ignoring like the people who are going next. So yeah. The basic reason what I'm asking is like you know if you did go to an inn, it basically you know you might like for instance see like people talking after the show, right? People go for a drink right after a performance, like what you might do in real life, right? And then of course it'd be like a chance to talk to people who might have been there. But so Nate, you're suggesting you want to speak to one more of the circus of like
Yeah,
folk
I
just
mean at
saying-
least one more.
Sure, yeah.
Because
Like
they were close.
specific-
Maybe there's like
maybe yeah,
you know
exactly.
maybe some more objective.
Yeah.
But as
info.
as our plans, like we were planning to stay here for a couple days at least, right? Like at least like 2 nights probably. So
I mean, you're not
We'll
alone.
also have an
Hopefully we figure out something.
yeah, because we're expected like if we're joining the performance, at least like more than one night. I think is what I heard.
One night special.
Yeah, it
Could be
depends.
one
I
night.
mean, it depends how
Extra
quickly you solve the problem. Like, if you are able to figure out what happened, then you know, I guess it's like that is what and that's like you know what the payment is really for, right? And the mission is really
Mm.
fine. The rest is just kind of like a side thing.
I don't mind either way if we're going tonight or tomorrow.
We can actually do it quickly if you Nate, if you want, just like anybody in particular, like any other performer, or just like also like someone who might just work there as like staff, you know, like the cook, cleaner, you know, this kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, just some other person so we can.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you know, you see, like, you know, there's the people like
Yeah,
clearing up
yeah.
after like the dinner, you know, like they, well, like no, maybe not. Maybe I guess no. Actually, technically, it's right
Yeah,
after, like you know,
more
they're
outside.
actually starting making the dinner. Cooper's also like interested in talking to them, so for like the camp cook, if you wanted to have a word with them. And they're like, oh, new faces, want a bowl? As you see, they're kind of like, you know, ladling out like some sort of stew. You joining the circus?
Yeah. For a short
Oh.
while at least.
Oh, well, I take a bowl then. Good to meet you, friend. They kind of like offer their hand. Name's
Oh.
fuck, Bert.
Hi, Bert. I'm
Hey,
Nate.
Nate,
I was
good to
rather
meet
call
you.
me. That's great.
No, thank you. Yeah, Cooper's like smelling like not bad. To you, like, kind of peers over. So what's your act or a cook perhaps? We always need a spare one. And Cooper's like, no, that's me. It's like, oh, they have like a little catch up about what's your favorite spice? Oh, cumin spice. Oh yeah, I love cumin. That's what chefs talk about, That's how they chat. And then he's. and then
We were
he's.
thinking about lending a hand with the acrobatics act.
Oh, I guess we have been on the eye out for a new acrobat ever since.
Yeah,
Been
we
missing.
heard about that.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
looking into what happened to your body, Sylvanas, I guess.
oh, so you're not just joining the circus at performance?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see about that. We need to see how well we do before
Right, well, fingers crossed you find them. I admit it's been a while.
Yeah. Can you tell us anything about him? And other things happened to him.
Okay, about him. He was alright. Yeah, you don't get a sense that he really thought he was that alright. You kind of get like another, not a lie maybe, but at least maybe not. The complete truth. The circus tracks all kind of people. He was very good at his job, that's for sure. Very popular. Crowds loved him. He knew it.
What about the coworkers?
What's that?
What about, for example, you and the other guys? Did you also like the guy a lot, or maybe he was a bit of a, not the easiest person to work with?
Was a little self-centered, maybe you could say.
Yeah,
he was very good at his job. I will say that again, but it wasn't the easiest to work with. He definitely also thought he was the best at his job here. You can tell a lot of kind of about a person. How often they say thank you when you give them their soup, for instance. Cooper nods a lot, and that tells you a lot. Kind of stares at Crixel. There we go. Thank you from you, motherfucker. You say thank you time? Yeah. So Bert's like, yeah, he wasn't one always remember to say thank you after the meal, or please can we have extra stuffing tonight. He was sometimes a little, I guess you could say, believe he deserved a lot. I guess you could say that makes sense. Some people believe maybe
She
the
thought he
wolf
was
also
better than he was.
He was good, but kind of shrugs. But he believed he was better than other people. I'll put it that way.
So I guess some other performers weren't that happy with his behavior.
Yeah, but sure. But you can also say he fought in the crowd. We need them to live. I mean, to be honest, circus is a family and all that, but there's a lot of, it's a job. Like, you always like the people at your work.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
We're just trying to figure out what kind of a person.
I mean, if that's what you mean, I for sure I work with people I don't like, but I also don't think that's a reason why anyone here would choose to get rid of him. But none of us are forced to be here. His job is nice. I like it. It's a bit more exciting than most cooking jobs I've seen, but not enough that I'd rather, get rid of a guy than just quit, right? He kind of based on that.
So, what was his relationship like with, let's say, Talia? That's the main
I mean, Talia him
they
always
were
working
together.
together. Yeah, I guess you could say even though I don't think he necessarily treated her well, probably he at least respected her more than any others around here. She was, I guess you could say his right-hand woman in a lot of the shows. He needed her for the performances, whether he would like to admit it or not. I think in a way he probably treated her better than he treated others. And I think,
Anyone he treated worse?
Anyone he treated the worst out of all of us. he was always very unimpressed with the strongman act. No matter who it was, he kind of, in the year and a half I've been here, we've had a couple of different strongmen. He always thinks, I think I remember him describing it as like skillless, at least, you know, he liked to believe his job while, you know, you could say they're both using the body, his will require a lot of coordination or dexterity or so on, and being strong was just as simple as you know, twisting your muscles. He was, but kind of strict. I mean, he was full of a lot of hot air. I'm not willing to say. I mean, I don't think that anyone here hated each other enough to do something like I think what you're suggesting.
I mean, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just, you know, trying to get the full picture, right? So we.
Yeah, I mean, the full picture. I mean, he wasn't well liked. I would say in some ways he was respected, but he was not well liked. Kind of shakes his head. And
I mean, if you know, get a better idea of a person, it's easier to maybe understand why.
But also, he was cocky. I mean, I don't think if something did happen to him, I think he wouldn't have thought he could be harmed or hurt or, you know, anything bad could happen to him. He went through life expecting nothing but good things to happen. So it's also, I mean, I think he could have done something really dumb and not realized what he was doing. He would have followed someone into a dark cellar expecting there to be a cake at the bottom for him.
So you said that do you maybe remember the inn that he went to before he went missing?
Yeah, he always liked to mingle with the crowd after shows, and often he would go back to the inn in town to drink with some fans. The one nearest the town, the one nearest the tent in town, name of fantasy. No, not with dumb fucking names. Name for fantasy sailor. Salty Sea Dog, what a classic. No, he always liked going to the Tidal Tipple for 1 or 2 after the show. Met up with some people there. Kind of shrugs. I don't think very often anyone else from here went with him. I think we all kind of liked having a nice quiet drink after he had gone.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really helpful. Anyone else have any questions for you, our friend here?
Well, when he disappeared that day, does anything odd? Or days before? Angry client? Or disagreement? Or disturbance?
I think. Yeah, he's like, again, you know, it's hard to know this far back. No, he kind of shakes his head. I'm sorry, it's been too long. Maybe if you came here 2 weeks ago, I would have had more. No, I'm kidding. He says, no, I can't think of anything that stands out outside of its normal behavior. I'm honest. But I can also ask around town. I'll have a word in with the people when I'm serving in the stewards. If anyone else has any ideas, I'll point them to you. If you can figure this out. I mean, yeah. Well, I don't like the guy. I mean, I don't want him to be fucking, you know, dead or getting out to a basement somewhere, you know. I still rather he was back, even if I don't like him.
That's good. Yeah.
Alright.
We'll do our best.
Fingers crossed. And yeah, he kind of, you know, to get turned to somebody else and like starts, you know, also like serving them some food.
So, what do you guys think? Do you think that maybe he got into an argument and someone knocked him over the head and buried him behind the inn?
Doesn't sound like it. Seems like he just walked out without any of his stuff. Nobody noticed.
Yeah, but why would he?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. I don't know.
With all that jewelry left behind, would you leave that
Yeah.
behind?
And his adoring fans.
Yeah.
Maybe an enduring fan wasn't as much of a fan as he thought he would be.
Maybe this is a misery situation. We're gonna find him tied to a bed with his knees broken. I think
Possible.
this could be a case of some adoring fan, or
Yeah, that seems like
maybe it's a thing of jealousy. Someone wanted to remove him.
As good as the ringmaster, if anyone else has offered to replace him.
yeah. Who is now the main star of the show? I guess Talia or
Considering
else.
no one else is
Yeah.
taken that his spot, his
Yeah.
kind of doubt
say
someone.
Talia is indeed now like the lead acrobat, and you did see a couple of posters on like the outside with her on it. You also see a couple with like the elephants and like the table of them, But the acrobat, fortunately, she'd certainly start off.
Don't think she is made him disappear. She seemed
yeah.
okay. She
Yeah,
cared.
look,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks suspicious.
She didn't seem like maybe she was the biggest fan of his.
Nobody seems to be.
True. A bit of an arrogant asshole, as it were.
Yeah, I mean,
But I
they
don't think
seem
she-
to like him more than most other guys, I guess.
So it could be, right? But like for her, the ringmaster too, like you don't slaughter your prize calf, right? Or your prize
Yeah.
animal. Even if you don't like it. So I don't think it'd be one of them, but there could be someone else. It caused the disappearance. But I agree, it doesn't seem that he would have just left willingly.
But how do we go from here?
I mean,
We just need Johnny to become an even bigger acrobat.
Someone will try to kill him.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
Smart.
that's
Yeah,
that,
We'll we'll try to stop him,
that
I
can be
guess.
debate. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, you are a master debater. Wait.
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, seemed like a pretty good ending point. Then is you puzzle into the night about what possibility to be, but I'm sure in the next morning you will figure something out. Figure out the next avenue to explore.
Sure.
I'm sure as you I guess you go to like an info room, or do you go back to sleep on the boat? Your boat is quite small, so at least Cooper says he'll use some of maybe the money he's made from stealing from you guys over the years.
Whoa.
Nah, you give him like something, right? Like you must give him some spend. Like you loot stuff, you sell, you give him something, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we haven't noted it down or anything, but
Okay, yeah, you give him
sure.
enough that I don't need to note down how much he spends as he goes and gets a room in and in for the night, saying he's not fucking sleeping on the ship one more goddamn night.
agreed.
Agreed. Perfect. Alright, then we will end there as Mystery of the Circus will commence again next time. Good stuff, everyone. Are we all good for next week or anyone? No?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Tom is.
Oh,
No.
Catch up vacation time.
Yes, it's the rescheduled
yeah.
trip that.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, that we managed.
But I'm gonna
Okay.
forget all the
Oh, yeah.
details of the investigation.
That's perfect. I can make up new details. It's too confusing if you
So we'll end with everyone gets just completely hammered tonight, drunk.
Exactly.
There's a
Yeah.
reason why we all.
There we go. There we go.
Perfect.
You're like, I mean, today, tomorrow the real investigation begins. This was just like a
True.
teaser, right? This was just a teaser. Teaser. Alright. Good stuff, everyone.
Thanks,
Alright,
thanks.
we will see you all then
Yeah.
when we have.
See you
Bye,
lads. Bye.
everyone.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.